West caused by postseason baseball. All right, maybe it was a little bit of both at the same time. But they get back underway today. The weather doesn't look too bad in Detroit. I was looking. There may be some little showers in the area, but it doesn't look like it should be too bad, which is good. I think what the Mariners would want is either to be totally rained out or to have no problem. They, for whatever reason, have struggled with these like delays that last a couple of hours and then they come out and play. They don't want any part of that. They either want to play without a problem, which is what I think is going to happen, or you just want to be totally rained out and then you'd have the off day. Thursday would go away and become game 4. Either of those eventualities is fine. You might even argue there's some benefit in that one for them. Maybe at that point, I don't know, you don't have to start Bryce Miller. Then you could use him in the pen. So, I don't know. That's kind of where the Mariners are at right now. The one thing that is frustrating, and today is such a fun, positive day, but I got to say, just on behalf of every fan who doesn't have a job like I do that gets over at 10 a.m., the idea that they are going to play 2 to 3 weekday matinees in a row is absurd. It's an insult, honestly, to Mariner fans. It's an extreme insult to everyone who lives here in the city of Seattle and the surrounding region and roots for the Mariners on the West Coast. It's not right. It's just not right. I totally understand that some games need to be during the day. I totally understand that big market teams get a level of priority because they have more viewers and they bring in more money. And that's why this whole thing exists from the network standpoint. And the networks get to control a lot of that. I get it. I understand. And I didn't spend a lot of time on this yesterday because obviously yesterday was about celebrating what had happened the night before and discussing some of the baseball back and forth, not to mention the Seahawks game. So this rant of sorts was sort of, kind of fell by the wayside yesterday, but it doesn't go away. And really kind of today, in my mind, almost jumps to the forefront. They're being asked to play at 1 p.m. Seattle time today, noon tomorrow, and depending on the Yankees, at 1:48 on Friday. Just a slap in the face. That is a slap in the face to anybody who, works. That's absurd. And kudos to the Mariners. They're doing watch parties over at T-Mobile, and you can go over there. It's a good deal, and it's like $15 or something to go hang out and watch the game with a ton of people. Like, that's a great way to do it. Season ticket members, you can get $10 tickets, even better. Like, that's a good deal. Mariners.com/watch party if you want to go hang out and watch with people. But I don't understand anybody that, if there's any issues with work, like, yeah, no kidding. People have work. You can't just get out of work every day to go watch postseason baseball. It's certainly not in the middle of the day. Like, I understand, okay, it's a 7 o'clock start in Detroit, 4 o'clock here. You deal with that all the time. That's just the reality of West Coast living. But this is wrong, man. Doing it once, hey, totally understand. You take a turn, you take a turn, you take a turn. But 3 days in a row? Get out of here. That's not right. And I'll just say this. For years, there's an argument that's been made about late games, right? Remember postseason game, and not just in baseball, but in all sports. These games start at 8 o'clock on the East Coast. Kids can't stay up for them. It's so awful that kids and some adults can't stay up for these late games. They have to go to bed. And I, as an adult, thought back on my childhood and always thought that was ridiculous. A ridiculous idea. Ridiculous. When I was a kid and I got to stay up a little late for special games like the postseason, I thought that was the greatest thing in the world. And you know what it did? It added to the specialness of the moment. Not only did I get to watch a postseason game or a playoff game or whatever the special thing was that went late, it felt even cooler, even bigger.
Yeah, but I don't think people are saying that because they're really worried about the kid. I think the parents don't want the kids staying up late.
But I always hear it's the kids. It's all about the kids. So you let your kids stay up late for a day. Great. As opposed to taking the kids out of school? Like, what are we talking about? If you want to complain about that for the poor East Coasters who have to stay up late, get out of town, man. Having to pull your kid out of school, they can't even watch the game. Ridiculous. absolutely ridiculous, and everybody else is at work. The whole thing is crazy. I do think it's absurd. Not a problem for me. Works out fine in my life. I have a very weird schedule that is not the norm. Although it is going to interfere with old nap time. Not psyched about that. But overall, it's just not right. 206 is going to play this rant to his boss as justification for a little time off. Yeah. Whatever I can do to help. And yes, you can listen to all the games here on the station. Honestly, who does it benefit most? Us here at 710. More people will end up listening to the game either on 710 or on the Seattle Sports app or however you choose, seattlesports.com, however you choose to listen to the game. Yes, it probably benefits us more than anybody else. Totally, raise my hand, and that is true. As a business, we probably benefit the most from it. So here I am attacking. No, I'm not trying to attack our business. I just think it's wrong, man. I just don't think it's the right way to treat fans. And it's not a huge surprise that they're treating the Seattle fans this way. All these decisions are made where? In New York, of course. It's not a surprise that New York gets priority on whatever happens. God forbid the commissioner and everybody else don't get to watch the Yankees on time. I understand the way the world really works. But it is a slap in the face, one of many that continue to come our way here in the Great Northwest. So that is my rant for the day. Other than that, man, what a cool day. What a cool day we have here. Postseason baseball, if you are able to watch it, if you do have a schedule that allows you to get to a TV or listen on the radio at 1 o'clock, I mean, this is kind of what you live for, right? Game 3, tied at 1, opening day starter, Logan Gilbert on the hill against Jack Flaherty. Hey, why did they end up swapping Flaherty and Mize? Do you know? It's just because Flaherty was better in his last start than Mize was? I assumed it would be Casey Mize in this one. Flaherty goes on regular rest, but they could have had both guys go with an extra day. Instead, they get 2 extra days rest for Mize. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you're going to have to face both guys either way, but I just thought that was a little odd. But okay, fine. They're going to go with Jack Flaherty, who's good. Jack Flaherty's a good pitcher. I don't think he's as good as Logan Gilbert, and I don't think that they're as good as the Mariners are. So nothing has changed in my view of where I think this series is going, and I felt fairly confident in it all the way. We'll see. See what happens over these next couple days in Detroit. I did want to point out one thing. I just thought this was cool. So, remember yesterday, I didn't have a lot of time to talk about it, but the one play that jumped out to me from the weekend, Mariners-wise, was the block. It wasn't even a block. It was just a catch that Cal had on the 100-mile-an-hour pulled fastball from Vargas on Saturday night. It was maybe 2 pitches after he threw the wild pitch, which Cal did not have a chance on. And he pulled a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Cal was set up with his glove on the left side, Cal's left side of the plate, his glove side of the plate, and he had his right foot extended, right leg extended out. The ball nearly hit him in the right ankle, right foot area, and Cal calmly reaches across from where he is set up on the other side of the plate to catch a fastball at 100 miles an hour that missed its spot by 3 feet, I would say, 3.5 feet, all the way to Cal's ankle, and did it effortlessly, like it was nothing. Coolest play I've seen. Truly one of the most impressive catcher moments I've ever watched. And it's interesting. Somebody asked Dan about it yesterday, so obviously jumped out to someone else.
It's immensely difficult. I mean, I don't even know that I can relate. I didn't have anybody that threw 100 miles an hour or even getting the pitches in the mid-90s that are in the dirt. You just don't see that very often. And when I was playing, and now it's pretty commonplace, it's immensely difficult. And I think that the job that Cal has done behind the plate, encompassing all areas of catching, throwing, blocking, certainly calling a game, he's the league's best. And his ability to keep balls in front of him, keep runners where they're at, is huge. And to be able to do that consistently as he does, I point to the night he broke Mickey Mantle's record, took one in the neck, the half inning before, and then was able to kind of bounce right back and hit a homer his next at bat. So that's the kind of player Cal is, and that's what he's done for us all season long. And it's not easy. It's not an easy thing to do, but he does it time and time again.
Yeah, just another reason to be impressed with Cal Raleigh and everything he does for this team, and seeing he and Julio really kind of take the reins in the first couple of games here at T-Mobile, I think is probably, those are great. That portends well, I should say, for what to expect, I think, over the next couple days in Detroit. We'll come right back here. We'll take a quick break, give you guys everything you need to know, and then Mike Macdonald show, I think, as transparent, as good a look into Mike Macdonald's thought process as we've gotten. I love the interview we did with him yesterday. You'll hear it coming up in 20 on Brock and Salk.
3 hours before first pitch of every Mariners playoff game, it's the Mariners Pennant Push, featuring former Mariners pitcher Charlie Furbush.
It's game changers, the crowd here.
And MLB Network insider John Morosi.
Cal Raleigh to be the MVP, it would look exactly like it looks.
Today at 10 a.m. Then it's Game 3 of the American League Division Series. First pitch at 1:08, where you hear the American League West champion Mariners in the postseason. Seattle Sports.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Let's go! You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tired of uneven heating, noisy systems, and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings with every system, and every system qualifies for max tax credits. Call the Comfort People at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
At Cressy Door, we have the perfect garage door for you. Come visit our brand new garage door and fireplace showroom and let our experts help you find the perfect garage door. Cressy Door.
I had a young woman who was on a new SUV, and she had attachments to her old car because it was her first car, and she had questions because she was doubling her spending budget, and she was very fiscally responsible. It was almost making her sick. And the best path at that point was to, let's stop for the night, and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier. These are major life accomplishments. You have the ability to afford at this tier. You've secured one of the major needs in your life. You should be feeling a tremendous amount of pride and respect for your accomplishments. I'm just grateful that we get to celebrate it with them, that we get to be part of it in that aspect of it.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
This is where you hear your AL West champion Mariners in the playoffs. Seattle Sports.
After years of wear and tear, Joe had osteoarthritis in his wrists and shoulders.
I've pretty much worked out my whole life. I actually decided I'm going to train for a half Ironman triathlon.
The pain was interfering with every part of his life.
Basically, can't sleep, causing those kind of problems, very limited movement.
Joe had surgery, but it wasn't the fix he was looking for.
The doctor told me, he's like, hey, this is just going to be a partial fix. You're going to eventually need joint replacement.
That's when he decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
And they're just getting better. I can basically do full motion. I don't have really any pain.
What kinds of things are you able to do now that you weren't before?
I like to golf, and it definitely has made my golf game not as painful. And sleeping. I'm sleeping better because I don't have that aching at night going on and have to roll over.
So, are you recommending this to others?
Oh, everybody I talk to. Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through October 19th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Is your car road trip ready? Don't get stranded. Get to Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Bucky's has been preparing cars, trucks, and SUVs for safe, worry-free travel for over 50 years. We take care of your car with experience and good old-fashioned customer service. For all your oil changes, brakes, AC charging, and factory maintenance, choose Bucky's. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit Bucky's.com. Bucky's, where your car feels right at home.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
After a day to travel and acclimate themselves to Detroit, the Mariners are ready to resume their division series this afternoon with a 1 p.m. first pitch, which, of course, you can hear here on 710. One advantage of not throwing your opening day starter in Game 1 at home. Well, now you got him ready for Game 3 on the road. Logan Gilbert takes the ball looking to shut down the Tigers against Jack Flaherty, who was good, I thought, in his first start in the postseason. Allowed 1 run in 4 2/3 innings in his last start in Cleveland. He started Game 3 in the wild card round, goes on regular rest today with Casey Mize, having an additional couple of days before his start tomorrow, presumably against Bryce Miller. We don't know exactly what that looks like. What makes Flaherty a challenge, Dan Wilson?
No, I think, he's offensively, I think we'll be in good shape. This is a guy, that, what we do as an offense, putting pitches on hitters, trying to grind out at bat or pitchers and grind out at bats. Important, and we were able to do it yesterday against one of the tougher ones, and now we got a chance to do it again, and that's what our offense is geared to do, and that's the approach we'll continue to take.
All right, no Josh Naylor yesterday as the team went through warm-ups at Comerica Park, taking effectively a personal day. Dan Wilson explained where he was.
Yeah, it's kind of a personal day for him, so he'll be back, and we're looking forward to it.
You know what, Maura? I think you might be right. Listening to that again, I've heard that as a personal day. Like when you take time off work, that's not vacation. Sometimes you need a personal day. But that sounds, the way Dan accents it or accentuates it, it sounds like it's a day that is personal to Josh. And so he's giving him a little space.
I was trying to read too much into it. And
no, I think you're right.
One day and he's back, or if that meant it's personal to him.
I think that's what it means. I think you're right.
Yeah, it's kind of a personal day for him. So
it's kind of personal day. The way he says day, if he'd emphasized personal, then yes, but he emphasizes day.
Well, and the question was, is this related to his baby? So I think even though we all pretty much know that that's what's going on, he didn't want to say yes because
it's personal.
Private.
That's absolutely, that's kind of what he means, I think, is that it's a private day for him. Regardless, his wife was due to give birth in Arizona. Hopefully all went well. We'll find out. And he's able to join the team maybe even as soon as today.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
All right, very transparent, very honest Mike Macdonald yesterday when we spoke with him. Very clear over his frustration over Sunday's loss. The good news, I think, is that he thinks the team is good enough to be worth getting frustrated over, and you can hear that in the interview coming up here in about 10 minutes. I do believe there's a difference between frustration and despondence, right? He is frustrated because he knows what they're capable of, not throwing his hands up and saying, oh my God, this team just isn't as good as I thought they were going to be. The big issue for him, tackling, and he was not happy about it.
Our tackling right now is not our standard. It's not good enough. And we work it every day. We work every meeting, and something is not getting, the dots are not getting connected right now. So that's something that we're evaluating as we speak, and we have to address it because it must be better. There's way too many hidden yardage out there where it's putting us in more defensive positions, and guys are getting leaky yards on us. So it needs to improve.
Yeah, not necessarily easy to do at the pro level, but he has a couple of methods, and again, you'll hear that coming up in about 10 minutes. He did give some injury updates, sort of.
Yeah, Julian, sounds like we're going to be working through this all week. So I'm not sure what his practice availability is on Monday. So on Wednesday or Thursday, not sure. Spoon, I think he was getting imaged as we speak. So we'll still figure that out. Hopefully we get him back. We'll see. D-Law, we're hopeful that he can start practicing and go. Derek Hall, it looks like he might miss this game, maybe a couple games with his oblique. So we got to work through the severity of that and the timetable, whether or not that means, what that means timetable-wise. I know we got the bye coming up here in a few weeks.
So that's kind of where they're at. And again, you'll hear more from Mike coming up in a few.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
All right, let's see. Phillies may have been one of the best teams this season, but they're now pushed to the brink after losing twice to the Dodgers, who were like a sleeping dog that somebody decided to wake up. Phillies lose both games at home to start their division series and will now head to L.A. Dodgers scoring 4 in the 7th and then hung on for dear life as their pen continued to struggle, gave up 3 runs. Phillies make a little mistake there, Lyle, yesterday?
Yeah, they made a mistake.
Bunting?
I mean, it is baffling how many managers can't figure this stuff out.
Yeah,
you had your worst athlete on second base. You left him in the game. You drop down a bunt. You let him run to third. He gets thrown out. There's your ball game.
Yeah, really, really bizarre. Milwaukee is just battering Chicago. Oh, my gosh. They got down 3 runs in the first inning. They're like, no problem. We'll just score 7 straight with 3 long balls, including another one from Jackson Chirios, this one from William Contreras.
Your left hand. Contreras with a drive to left field, and the Brewers have the lead.
Yeah, that one was torched. My God, they can close things out tomorrow as well, although they will need to go to Chicago to get that done. And then crazy end to the Monday night game last night with Jacksonville not only coming back against the Chiefs, but winning in maybe the most bizarre way, one of the strangest touchdowns you'll ever see.
First and goal with 30 seconds left. Now Lawrence goes down, has to get up, breaks a tackle, touchdown Jacksonville.
I don't know, it's crazy that cut is only 11 seconds long. It felt like that play took about 50 seconds with him lying on the ground, waiting to get up, stumbling again, and then magically sneaking through for a touchdown. Just bizarre. They're obviously going to host the Seahawks Sunday in Duval County. That is everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. I don't know what's going on weather-wise. It looked kind of clear on my app, but then I see Jake Wittenberg, our friend from King 5, tweeting rather, saying thunderstorms and heavy rain, threatening Game 3 of the ALDS series in Detroit today. No word yet on the fate of Mariners v. Tigers. All right, well, we'll see what happens. And he says there's a tarp on the field. He's got a little picture of it, so I don't know the details. The fate of ALDS Game 3 is in question. We'll keep monitoring it, and we'll give you the details. We're going to talk to Shannon at some point in a couple hours to help us as well. Passan joins us at 8:30, Daniel Jeremiah at 9:30, and Mike Macdonald, very open, very transparent, next on Brock and Salk.
This is where the baseball playoffs live.
This team is fired up. The fans here at T-Mobile Park are fired up.
The conversation.
This is the playoffs, the series we've all been talking about and pointing to.
The anticipation.
This is why you watch baseball.
And where you hear your American League West champion Mariners in the postseason.
It is gone! Jorge Polanco!
Seattle sports playoff coverage is presented by Honey Bucket on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
All right, I've been talking about this. Luxury awaits at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. If you're looking for a spot to watch some postseason baseball, pretty easy. Go to the new Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The new sports bar is just out of control. I think it's 66 televisions, a whole indoor-outdoor deal with unbelievable views, fantastic food. It really is a perfect spot. Plus, you got the expanded non-smoking gaming floor downstairs, and then everything else that can come with watching sports at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Yep, go to snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit suplinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
Paying extra for tire care is BS. You know, bad service. So at Midas, we're rolling out our BS-free tire guarantee. Included with paid installation and tax on every purchase. You'll pay nothing for flat replacements, nada for flat repairs, and zilch for tire rotations every 5,000 miles. That's $0 for all that. So with this limited lifetime tire guarantee, you'll pay a whole lot of nothing compared to what the other guys charge for tire care. That's the BS-free tire guarantee, only at Midas.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks Monday Night Football game, October 20th. Head to the Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the Seattle Sports app, the better your odds. Do it every day, October 7th through October 13th. Details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Where you hear Cal's quest for the MVP.
Goodbye, baseball, number 50 for Cal Raleigh.
Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
Ooh, that face. Quantum Fiber Internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Gage Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum Fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of her video calls. Back to back video calls.
Quantum Fiber Internet blowing the soxies up all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch
today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
Are you trying to buy a new home, or are you a local real estate agent seeking financing for a client? We're all tired of dealing with banks, credit unions, and endless guidelines. Wouldn't it be nice to go back in time when we had common sense lending? Hi, I'm Scott Rureka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We are one of the largest local private portfolio lenders in Washington. We've helped thousands of home buyers and real estate investors reach their financial goals by leveraging the Legacy Common Sense borrowing platform. What that means is we lend our own money, we make our own decisions. If your deal makes sense, we'll get it done. Whether you're purchasing a new piece of real estate or refinancing an existing loan, bridge loans, construction, or regular home loan, it doesn't have to be as difficult as banks and lenders make it. If you're trying to grow wealth through real estate acquisition, come talk to the experts in private lending.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, your common sense lender. LegacyG.com.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton.
This is the Mike Macdonald Show, presented by your local 76 and Conoco stations, exclusively on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach, good morning. How are we today?
All right.
A little frustration yesterday, I'm sure. What is your level of frustration this morning?
Of course you're frustrated, you're disappointed, you're a little pissed, you're edgy, motivated, motivated to get it right, motivated to move forward. You kind of want to just play another game, you want to get you just want to go make it right immediately, but that's not how it works. That's where you're at. I think we're still confident. We're still optimistic. All the kind of everything. Just still fresh. I haven't met with the staff. I haven't met with our defensive staff yet. Haven't met with the players yet. So that's part of the process. But when you don't play the way that you expect to play, and that's a tough pill to swallow. It's a tough punch to take right there.
Salk, I think I do want to ask about the uniforms. We'll have plenty of time to talk about some of the ball and the tape and everything else, but just the whole scene yesterday, Coach.
It was pretty cool.
You've been a football lifer. You know this stuff, and growing up where you did on the northeast, and then down south, and the creamsicles and the old school Seahawks and the logo in midfield and the 50 greatest players all back celebrating these two organizations that came in 50 years ago. What about just the presentation, the unis, the colors? Could you appreciate any of that at least before kickoff?
Oh yeah, it was an incredible atmosphere. It was electric. It's great having all of our people there. 12s are awesome, and that's probably why you're frustrated is the amount of the investment we have and not getting the return, and so you're looking at the process that we're all the things that go into everything. That's what we're evaluating right now, but that's why we feel the way we do this morning, because our fans deserve better when we're playing at home.
I don't know what the schedule was for you leading up to it. Did you have any opportunities to sit down or kind of be around any of the 50 greatest who would come in for this?
Yeah, we did. They had an event on Friday night, and then I spent some time with those guys on Saturday after the walkthrough. A bunch of guys were there.
Anyone you didn't know or met for the first time or had a cool interaction with?
Yeah, I haven't met Sean Alexander yet, and that was really cool. I didn't get to spend time with Earl, but it was great to see Earl. Obviously, every time you see Steve Largent, it's like kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, seeing Earl was awesome. I wish we got the time to spend time together because with our time in Baltimore and kind of the shared experience here. So, but it was great to see him, and there's several guys.
You talked through some of that frustration, Coach, and then you also mentioned the optimism and kind of where the team is going. That makes sense to me, just the way you phrased it, and I wonder if those two things are connected. Is some of the frustration because you can see what this team is capable of?
Yeah. You nailed it. That's it. When you fall short of where you feel like you are, and that's it's tough. So you got to be honest. Like I think part of our message today is we got to be honest with each other and evaluating of how we're doing things and who's doing what and, what we're doing, all those things. But you're absolutely right. I think that's kind of the, the juxtaposition there where you are optimistic because I think we got great guys and we got great players and we got great coaches, and frustrating that we didn't see the product on yesterday afternoon.
Coach, if it wasn't once, it was 2 or 3 times yesterday at the podium post-game. You talked about your play calling and just how you felt like numerous times you could have done better. Is then you watch the actual tape last night, right? And you go home and you look at those calls and you actually watch the game tape. Maybe some of what you felt at that podium versus the actual game tape were those things aligned?
Yeah, there's definitely plays that I want back. I'm probably more upset with what went into the week and how we got to the game and how prepared we were, and that goes into how we play. How we play defense, how our style of play, how well we execute, our process. All those things wasn't our standard, and that's most of the things that I was referring to. Is that's my job, and when you fall short of what your responsibilities are, and you feel like you let your guys down.
Was there anything that Tampa did, and it was a funky week for them with guys out and all their injuries and even Baker out early in the week? Was there anything that they did yesterday schematically, offensively, that you hadn't really seen earlier this year? They throw some new wrinkles at you that just made it that much more challenging?
That's a tough question, because if you say no, then I feel like you're not giving them enough credit for how well they played, and the job that they did with their staff and their players. So they did do some things that hadn't been on tape. Some of them scouted looks, some things out of different personnel groups that hadn't been done up to this point. But those are things you have to take into account. You can't just throw your eggs in a basket based off of a 4-game sample. And so that's a credit to them. And that's something that we can do better moving forward of how we account for certain formations and certain plays coming out of certain personnels without kind of getting all the weeds. But yeah.
As an outsider watching that game and seeing the two quarterbacks go back and forth, I mean, it's really hard to ignore the storyline, the narrative, whatever word you like for it, of where those two guys were to start their career as top 10 picks a few years later, and after they had both been bounced from their original location, and then where they were at yesterday, just going back and forth, throwing dime after dime. And they actually strike me as somewhat similar, I would think, with not necessarily personality, but ability to throw on the run and a little bit of movement. They're not running quarterbacks, but they move well. What was it like just kind of watching the quarterback battle shape up between those two?
Well, I think you're right. I think we talked about this throughout the week too, about the similarities between Sam and Baker. Both are, top competitors. Haven't been with Baker in a building, but from what you understand about who he is and how he operates, seems like there's a lot of parallels between him and Sam. And it sounds like they have a decent relationship themselves. Both played at an extremely high level, and again, I mean. And I know Sam wants to be able to close that game out, and defensively we want to be able to close games out and really put the game away. So Sam's performance can be front and center of what happened in that game, because that should have been the story of the game, is how well our offense played and how well Sam played.
Well, and obviously we want to talk more about it. I mean, what he did yesterday was great, but since you also bring it up, the final offensive play that unfortunately goes the other way. He said that there was more he could do on that play, that there was protections he could have changed. What did you see on that maybe could have gone differently?
Well, he's right. We could have flipped the protection there, but our offense is also based off of we don't have to be right every time with the protections, and if you're hot, we get rid of the ball and we move forward. But the ball did get tipped. It went off a helmet. I watched it this morning and took a bad hop. I thought he made the right decision and it sounded like he was trying to throw it in the dirt and or throw it short. Maybe there's a different place you could have thrown it or something, but in an ideal world, you flip the protection, you're not hot, and maybe you can work through your progressions a little bit more. But we got to be decisive in those moments. You got to make a decision, you got to rock with it. It's what our whole team's built off of. And so you played the shoulda, coulda, woulda game, but you got to look at the process, what goes into it. and live with the consequences.
What did Marshawn say? I'm here so I won't get fined. I'm here, and I'm not asking this question for you to get fined. I'm asking it for clarity, because the college rule, the high school rule, the pro rule may be different. Can you help me and clarify what men downfield are, and why on a shovel pass behind the line you're called for it, and they had the exact same concept with a guy 4.5 yards downfield? Can you just help me and the fans understand what is men downfield in the NFL?
From what I understand, if it's a forward pass and you're not engaged with a defender, and I think it's more than a yard. I think that's the buffer zone. I could be wrong, but I think it's over a yard. Maybe it might be 2. I'm pretty sure it's 1.
Yep.
And that's a penalty. So our guy, Jalen that was a legal man downfield. So we got our offensive penalties yesterday were a little bit were operational based. So that's something that we can focus on the front end and on how we're training the guys and how we're focusing in those moments. And I can't give you an answer on their one, because it felt like to me that he was downfield.
So it doesn't matter if the ball is caught behind the line, like if you throw a screen or a shovel behind the line of scrimmage, if it's caught behind the line, it doesn't matter if
it's
guys
forward, it's forward pass. Yeah,
anything forward pass. Okay. Yeah, that was. I think Mr. Frazier was showing you the iPad of their guy 4 yards downfield as well. So we'll just leave it at that. We don't need any fines or any of those conversations, but that helps clarify. I appreciate it.
With some of the injuries that you guys were dealing with over the course of the week, and I heard you say no excuses, totally agree. Does that in any way affect the way you call a game defensively, what plays and defenses you can run, or do you have to just put that totally out of your mind and call what is best at that moment?
Yeah, I think the non-negotiable is how we execute and the style of which we play, and that is what is disappointing, is that we fell short of that, and that comes to what we're asking the guys to do. But you're always gonna call games for players. That's the way you do it.
So what does that mean, to call games for players?
Yeah, you call plays for players. You want guys' abilities to. You want to accentuate guys' strengths and ask guys to do things that they're really good at. And so when you play with different players, you're calling different. You have to. If you're calling the same stuff, no matter who's on the field, that's not the way to do it. I mean, good or bad, So I know that's our philosophy, and I don't know. Maybe some people say, hey, look, we're just going to run, our 3 things, and no matter who's out there, let's do it. That's one way to doing it, but. Our philosophy is we're gonna call it for who's out there.
So how beat up are you now? I mean, we got to see a whole bunch of guys, unfortunately, kind of trudging on and off the field over the course of the game and even leading up to the game. So let's do the little quick injury rundown. Where are we at with the guys who weren't able to go, starting in the secondary with Julian and with Devin?
Yeah, Julian, sounds like we're going to be working through this all week. So I'm not sure what his practice availability is on Monday. So on Wednesday or Thursday, not sure. Spoon, I think he was getting imaged as we speak, so we'll still figure that out. Hopefully, we get him back. We'll see. D-Law, we're hopeful that he can start practicing and go. Derek Hall. It looks like he might miss this game, maybe a couple games with his oblique. So we got to work through the severity of that and the timetable, whether or not that means what that means timetable wise. I know we got the bye coming up here in a few weeks. Who else?
Let's see, Reek.
No update on Reek. No update on Reek yet.
Eamon Worry.
Nick was able to return from the game. I haven't heard anything.
Okay,
and the
so
same
he
thing,
should
I
be
think
good.
Nehemiah was able to come back. So
How
I
was
haven't heard no updates on those guys.
How was the tackling yesterday, Coach? As you evaluate it, what markers you look for with that?
Yeah, our tackling right now is not our standard. It's not good enough, and we work it every day. We work our eat every meeting, and something is not getting that. It's not. The dots are not getting connected right now, so that's something that we're evaluating as we speak, and we have to address it because it it must be better. There's way too many hidden yardage out there where it's putting us in more defensive positions and guys are getting leaky yards on us. So it's it needs to improve.
What does that mean to a modern NFL coach where, it's not full pads for 3 days and all day they're just out there doing tackling drills like they might have done in the 70s or 80s? So when you say it's something to work on, what are the options even available to you to work on that?
Well, I mean, it's a good question. We're going to work through it. I think you can change up how you drill stuff. I think you can definitely change tempos. I mean, we'll thud out in space, if that's what we need to do, we'll do it. I mean, we'll wrap and release out in space. These are all methods, that we have to be able to figure out so we can become a better tackling team. But for the amount of time, that we invest into this, we're not getting the returns. And so we have to, something needs to change, whether it's a personnel decision or whether it's on the front end of how we change it. And certain guys have more missed tackles than others. And so maybe, so those are things we also have to work on. It's extra time on those guys. Those guys are working on tackling, but we got to get that figured out.
You need some walk-ons? I mean, like Nebraska had 200 players on their roster. You want us
it's a little different than we were at Michigan, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Salk a couple weeks ago wanted people to call folks on Leonard Williams' behalf and let everybody know. Do you want us to put together a 10, 20, 30-person member walk-on crew that can put the gear on and just take a beating out there from some of the fellas?
I think the days of like the nondescript practice players with no numbers and stuff out the practice field there. I think those are
over.
I'm imagining like the old WWF wrestlers who would come in with no name and have to fight like Macho Man Savage and just get their butts handed to them week after week. Hey, on the offensive side of the ball, there was obviously a lot of positive. I wanted to focus on a couple of guys. We spent some time on Sam. How about AJ Barner and where he's at now, heading into his second year? Kind of the growth he's had from a year ago.
Yeah, AJ's playing at a high level right now. We said this kind of leaving end of last year. I mean, for being a rookie going into his second year, he plays the way that we want our football team to play. He's tough. He's got some swag to him. He doesn't make selfish decisions. He plays to the echo of the whistle. He finishes plays hard. He has his teammates back. He's got a lot of energy on the sideline. Just a lot of positive things, He's a great teammate in the locker room and in the building. And like we say on defense, like ball finds energy. You keep doing stuff the right way. You keep playing really, really hard. You're in the right spots. Ball seems to find you, And we're really, really excited about AJ. He's going to be a leader on this team for a long time.
Can you give me a play or two yesterday? We did this, I think, last week, and I loved it. That really represents your quote-unquote shocking effort. As you put that tape on and, some plays or some moments in that game yesterday that were just shocking effort moments to the head coach.
Yeah, I love there was an inside run. I think it was to K9, and we pushed the pile. It looked like it got stuffed, and we ended up in a 2nd and 2 there in plus territory. That was awesome. I think that might have set up the 4th down. Mm-hmm. That was great. There's a couple great kickoff coverage plays that guys are winning one-on-ones, leveraging the ball right, identifying the returns, like making really decisive decisions in the moment. And what do you know? Tackling really well, taking a great angle, not diving at their feet, and finishing going backwards. That's the way we want it. That's the way we want to play.
I had a neat moment for me. Another tough loss. So these coaching lessons feel that much more profound actually doing it now and living it. But I had my old man up in the booth. My dad who has a hard time getting around, so he had to be up in the booth with me. And Coach Macdonald, the number of times between Friday night, Saturday, watching college football, and then watching the game yesterday on the couch with him, he mentioned just that. He's like, why are guys diving? Like back in the day, and maybe this is a byproduct of not being able to hit and wrap. He's like, you just head up, just wrap and run your feet and run your feet and run your feet. If he said it again once, he said it 1,000 times. As you watch football, as you evaluate, as you look at the college game and prospects, and obviously the pro game, is tackling, and the byproduct of taking all the gear off so often and not hitting, Is tackling kind of the trade-off of some of that player safety stuff during season of not practicing as much in pads and hitting?
I think it should be an edge for us. We should be a great tackling team. We practice, we train. I know that what we're teaching is sound and stands the test of time with football. And we invest in this thing, and we're not translating it to the field. And that's what's extremely frustrating. And so we have to start making changes on why and figuring out why it's not coming to life. Because it's not an excuse because of the tempos. It's not an excuse because you can't be in pads. You can train tackling every day, but how you take angles to the ball, how you finish on dump. I mean, there's so many different methods to figure this out. If you feel like that it's an excuse, then that's lazy coaching. You know, that's taking the easy way out. Coach, that's going around, not through. You know, I'm not saying you're saying that, Brock. I'm just saying from as a coach's perspective. Yep. Like we say this all the time. Like you got to understand the rules and you got to play them by them better than everybody else. Everybody's playing by the same amount of rules than we are, and so we got to figure out a way to make this an edge for us. Right now, it's not. Right now, it's an edge against us, and it's extremely frustrating. But we got to get it fixed.
Is that different at the three different levels of the defense? I mean, the way you would coach and teach tackling to a defensive lineman versus a linebacker
absolutely.
Versus the secondary.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we used to do like tackling circuits. Everyone did like the same tackles, but like each position group aren't in the same positions to make the same. Like they're in different like tackle profiles. They're in just different worlds. So second level probably is a little bit more mirrored, but like first level guys, you know, they're on side views, they're on chase views, they're on front views, like in the box. It is a little bit different. So. The principles are the same, but like how you train it, I think varies by position.
You get to watch a little Monday Night Football tonight with these Jaguars.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Like we'll be watching them and also watching them at the same time. So, it's it'd be a little kind of like a Twilight Zone deal.
Well, we appreciate it, Coach. That's a really, really good insight, I think, today into where your mind's at and where the team is at. And appreciate the candor with the tackling stuff and kind of where, you know, your frustration and where it comes from. And I think there's a lot of people that really agree. I think there's a lot to really like about this team and a lot of reason for that optimism you expressed. I think there's a lot of belief we'll get it figured out. So thanks for spending a few minutes with us, and we'll do it again next Monday.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, good stuff yesterday from Mike Macdonald. Again, I felt like, you know, considering his level of frustration with that game, he explained it really well, felt like he was in a really good place, and kind of understood what it was he wants his team to work on here. Now we'll see if they're able to get that stuff corrected as they head out to play a Jacksonville team that, I don't know if they're great, but obviously they just beat Kansas City last night. They're certainly not a bad team. So, yeah, we'll see what they're able to put together. Lyle, I think we've got a soulmate here for you, a partner in crime, somebody that fits your worldview. Craig in the 425 says, if your stadium isn't ready for October baseball, you should be forced to forfeit. No delay, no postponement, just a loss because your city is weak.
Yeah, facts. Build a roof.
I love, Lyle, you got a couple of things that are very important to you. Don't bunt and build a roof. And yeah, we'll see what happens because there are thunderstorms in the Detroit area today. We'll see if they're able to get this one in. We'll be following it for you. Coming up, as I think about Game 3, I realized I got a text from a former player after Game 2 that really just resonates with me. I'll tell you part of that text and explain what it all means. Next, on Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
This is where the baseball playoffs live.
This team is fired up. The fans here at T-Mobile Park are fired up.
The conversation.
This is the playoffs, the series we've all been talking about and pointing to.
The anticipation.
This is why you watch baseball.
And where you hear your American League West champion Mariners in the postseason.
It is gone! Jorge Polanco!
Seattle Sports playoff coverage is presented by Honey Bucket on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Oh, man. You know what I want to do one day? Retire. Can we do it sooner rather than later? Like, this is fun. Don't get me wrong. When there's playoff chases and all that, it's a blast coming into work. But eventually, like, I'd like to, kind of enjoy it and go golf and hang out and watch my kids do stuff. Like, I'm ready. Well, let me know. If you are like me thinking about the future and know that you've got a lot of work to do in order to get there one day, you need some help. You need some advice. It's why you call Trajan Wealth, and they do an excellent job with this stuff. 206-466-3300 is the phone number, 206-466-3300. 401ks can be a big part of this, and if you've got an old one with a previous employer, that can create a higher investment cost. It's why if you've got an old 401k and you're not sure what to do with it, I would recommend calling Trajan Wealth and discussing how to optimize those funds to get that money working for you again. Yeah, Trajan Wealth's core philosophies include low expenses and manager tenure. And this one's big, tax efficiency. You want to make sure you're not paying any more than your fair share. Just a couple of few key qualities, rather, that differentiate a Trajan Wealth portfolio. Again, call them today to schedule just a complimentary introductory meeting. Learn more at 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300 or TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today.
Planning a road trip? Plan a visit to your neighborhood Bucky's Complete Auto Repair for oil changes, brakes, AC repair, and factory maintenance. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit buckys.com.
Need a break from everything? Escape to a place where anything is possible and the fun never stops. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining, championship caliber golf, a full sports book and bar, over 1,000 top-rated slots and table games, and so much more. Come join the fun and see why we've been consistently rated one of the region's top destinations. Visit silverreefcasino.com to book your stay and discover all the exciting events and promotions we have in store for you. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5, exit 260.
The LJ way is.
You look at stuff like this and it's like, I don't want to come into an industry and work on a place that is going to compromise how I feel about myself. I get to go to work every day with good people and I get to enjoy what I do because I'm out there just trying to do right by people I care about, which is our community. We're going to see them at the grocery store. I'm going to see them at the sports tournaments. 2 friends of our daughters came in last night just on the lot, didn't know I was there, and it was cool because you got to take them through and they're going to buy a car for their first driver and a car for their kid going to school soon. These are the people that you're going to work with, and so you better make sure that your laundry's clean. I don't think Lee Johnson specifically, right, Speedway Chevrolet, where I'm at, I don't think they've ever had a problem with the community of being able to stand up and look them in the eye and know that they did their job well.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Dave Wyman here, and after 20 years of living in our home, our window seals started breaking. That's when I called Harley Exteriors. They're huge fans of our teams and regular listeners at the station, but what really sold me was their Olympic Series windows, built right here in Washington, designed for Pacific Northwest homes and climate. That means cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter. They're beautiful windows that last up to 60 years, and they'll help with noise, too. Harley Exteriors knows you've been spending a ton on playoff tickets, so they have a special deal for Seattle sports listeners. No interest and no payments for an entire year. Also, buy one window and get the second one 40% off, and take another $200 off your entire project. They're the friendliest team and so easy to work with. You call the number and the person on the other line asks, "How can I make you smile today?" Just give them a ring and tell them you heard our ad. Call 833-HARLEY. That's 833-HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Baseball's postseason is here. Seattle Sports Playoff coverage is presented by Honey Bucket, 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
Give me a freaking auto! From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Marcus. Sorry about just Mike.
Heward, not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right, game 3 this afternoon. In theory, Brock, we'll wait and see what happens with the challenges of weather in Detroit. There are some thunderstorms and heavy rains in the area. Tarp on the field this morning. But I don't know. I got a good feeling about it. I don't necessarily have a good reason for that, but
Who's
I got a
the guy
good feeling.
from the Weather Channel?
Jim
we had on there one
Cantori.
time? Yeah. Didn't we have him on our show one
We
time?
did before the freezing cold game in Minnesota.
Oh, that's right.
The Blair
That's
Walsh
right.
game. Yeah.
Should we call him again? See what he's seeing on the
I don't know whether
low pressure.
I don't know if we need Jim for this necessarily.
Okay.
We'll
right.
talk to Shannon a little bit later, and I saw Jake Wittenberg tweeting from on site in Detroit. So I don't know. I feel like we're getting enough information, but 1 p.m. start. In theory, noon tomorrow. I've already ranted about how ridiculous it is and the slap in the face to the people here in the Northwest. But instead of complaining and ranting and raving, we'll go in a different direction here at 7 o'clock. Because I got a text after game 2 from a former player. I won't say who, but I got a text from a former major leaguer who said, of the Mariners, amongst other things, they got this now. And I found myself reflecting on it. Like, it was part of a longer text that was actually very funny, and I wish I could read it all to you guys, but I can't, both because it's not suitable for radio and also because I would never want to betray somebody's confidence. But I think it's safe to say that this person said, they got this now. That's an exact quote. And you know what? I agree with it. It does kind of feel that way.
Really?
Baseball's an unpredictable game. I've been wrong about nearly everything that's happened this year, so my opinion on this means nothing. But I did have a pretty good thought that even after game 1, they were not in trouble for game 2. I told Lyle before the series started, and he was quacking about, they have to get game 1. It's a must win. It's like, not really.
That's
baseball.
your Lyle impression.
When did Lyle turn into Tim Kirkjian?
It's my quacking Lyle when he
Is
gets
he a
crazy.
stretched out Tim Kirkjian? Like if Timmy were stretched to 6'2", he'd sound like Lyle. Nice.
Game 1, quack, quack. That's my quacking Lyle. He was quacking the other day about how they had to win game 1. Like, no, they don't. Like, it'd be helpful. It's certainly better, but like.
So why do they got this now? Because they beat Scoobel? Because it's 1-1? Because you got to have your first playoff win at home in 25 years?
What I've seen from this team is when they start showing their resilience, when they have to bounce back, they really bounce back. It's like, oh, we lost in a dumb way. Let's go out and win 5 straight. Like it does, especially over the last month and a half. That's kind of been who they are. And I felt, to me anyway, like maybe they kind of broke the seal. Right? Like with a shooter in basketball, they can miss a few shots in a row, but then don't let them hit one, because then they get hot. Quarterback, right, might be inaccurate or having some issues, but once they get that one pass and they get in rhythm, don't let them do that. This team has found ways to just get in rhythm this year. So I don't necessarily have a ton of evidence or proof behind this gut feeling. But when a player who knows the game says it to you like that, maybe it comes back to that locked-in deal. Maybe it comes back to confidence. Maybe it's just that they got that first loss out of their system, and then once their resilience kicks in, the confidence comes with it. So, look, it's not like it's a done deal. You know what they got to do today? Pitch. They got to go into that building and pitch.
Walter's got to show up.
100%.
And Comerica's been pretty good at Walter. Our quaking Lyle sent us some pretty good numbers that when it comes to pitching in other ballparks outside of T-Mobile, old Walter doesn't mind pitching in this one. And he's got to be aggressive, Salk. He's got to just go right after these guys. If there's anything this year that just my eye, and this isn't any of the next level numbers, it just my eye has seen coming off that injury early in the year, Walter for the last 2 years went right at people and was efficient in his pitching, got swing and miss, got deep in games, and man, that would go a long, long ways today. Question for you.
Yeah.
Put on your golf hat here.
Okay.
What's your favorite hole at the home course?
That's I could go off on this for a while.
On and on. You love them all.
I'll probably say 16.
16.
I like the par 5.
You like the par 5. You've parted a lot. Maybe even you birdied it.
Yeah.
Do you think that sweep that I would say in many ways was one of the most meaningful and of the most magnitude series of the entire season, coming off of a sweep in New York and a brutal one at that at the very end of it? Do you think that Comerica can bring those same good vibes that you get stepping up to 16, that, you know what, we've been here and done it, man? And in fact, this was kind of a tentpole moment for our season here in 25.
It would be easier to say yes if it wasn't such a house of your favorite word horrors last year. So they got swept there and just, I mean, like, so did it bring back bad memories when they got there last? Like, I don't know. I would love to say yes to that. And there's certainly no downside to having swept there earlier this year. But do I think they show up there like, yeah, we own this place? No, probably not. But you know what? There are places that just fit people's eyes, as we know, right? I mean, for whatever reason, the old ballpark in Texas just fit Kyle Seager's eye. He just liked hitting there. Didn't matter who was pitching against him. He just, every time he went there, just felt good. And, you know, if it's sort of that look good, feel good, play good thing, if you believe it, then whatever you need in order to keep your confidence high is probably a good thing. So
yeah, that old Juanita Field for Lyle. You know,
yes.
He went 3 for 4 with a bomb there, right, Lyle? When you all played the Rebels back in the day at Juanita? No?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Sure.
We'll go with that.
Well,
Wow,
actually, Juanita played at Lee Johnson Field, too, so that's not right.
Oh, sorry.
Brock, come on. Let's be accurate.
You got to get it right.
The accuracy here is obviously of the utmost importance.
Any update on Naylor? What do we know about Naylor? Any update on
We
on our
don't
boy
know
Nails?
a lot. All I'll say, and I was going to use this here for need to know, but I'll play you the sound because I think Mora has this figured out.
Oh.
If you've only read the sound, you probably have a different impression of what Dan said yesterday. Have you heard the sound, Brock, or just read the sound?
No, I only read the sound.
Okay, so what do you think he said? Why did you get the sense Josh Naylor was not with the team yesterday? Because he was what?
Away.
Taking a
personal
day, right? Is that how you read it? Like, oh, he's away taking a personal day.
Uh-huh.
Like people get personal days, like at work. Like, oh, you're not in? Are you on vacation? No, just taking a personal day. That's how I read it. But when you hear it, that's not what it sounds like. Okay. Here's what he says.
Yeah, I mean it's you know, kind of a personal day for him. So you know he'll be back and we're looking forward to it.
Do you hear that any differently?
Personal day, as in like his first child was born.
That's right. Like, oh, it's kind of a personal day. Like it's a day that's very personal to him.
And you know what? The big grumper kind of wants his privacy.
Yeah.
Is he going to tell you if it's a boy or girl? Is he going to tell you the name? Is he going to tell you the weight?
He may wear colored cleats to tell you the name. I have heard some rumors that that's a possibility. That he may wear pink or blue cleats depending on the birth of the child. I don't know that. Look, I don't know what's going on with Josh or his wife. Obviously, we've heard reported that she was due right around this past weekend. Hopefully, everything goes well. I would assume if the baby was born yesterday and it goes well, he might be able to join the team as early as before the game today.
Do you remember the first 24 hours, Salk,
was
after
hell.
your
Just
child was
awful.
born?
Just absolute hell.
Oh, wow, that must have been so horrible for you.
I didn't say for me. I was obviously worse for my wife who had, had a C-section. But
Been through like a major traumatic experience with her body.
Yeah. I mean, it was a surgery. Yeah.
Oh, I set you up for that beautifully, didn't I, Salk?
But it was still awful. I mean,
Jimmy Superfly Snuka Dooley
Yeah.
just came from the top rope.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Well, I mean.
You know what I remember? Like the first 48 hours was a Twilight Zone. It was Hitchcock. It was like surreal. Like, what in the world?
Why won't this thing eat?
We now have a child.
Yeah.
And the hours of the day are just over. It's just done. There's no 24 hours. There's no cycle. It is like, oh my gosh.
Well, I think I've told the story before. The best part, not with Avery, but with Cecily. So second child was when the nurse came in and was like, hey, would you like us to take her and, give her a bath and give you guys an hour or so of sleep or two? Like, yeah, that'd be really great. Thank you. And so take the baby away and Cecily leaves. And we hear just horrendous sounds coming from outside the. We're like, I don't know what that is.
Lyle after the 5th inning on Saturday night.
Oh my God! Whatever quacking craziness you got from Lyle the other day, Brock. This was like when you hear Chunk in Goonies from like rattling the chains and stuff. You're like, well, clearly there's some demon in the other room. And about a half hour, maybe an hour later, the same nurse comes back holding the baby out with outstretched arms as far away from her as possible and says, oh, here you go. That's the loudest baby we've ever had here. And I've been working here for 2 decades. Good luck. And we're like, oh, great. Thanks. We'll put her in hockey. We'll be right back with everything you need to know next on Brock and Salk.
After a split of the first 2 at T-Mobile.
Blasted left field. He's done it again. Jorge Polanco.
It's Tridents up for Game 3 in Detroit.
I know they're not going to like us over there.
The Mariners look to pull ahead in the best-of-5 division series today. First pitch at 1:08. Extended pregame coverage starting at 10 a.m. And there's only one place you can hear the American League West champion Mariners in the playoffs. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here to talk a little bit about pain, and no, not the pain of a newborn baby. That much should cry and keep you up. I'm talking about pain that affects your quality of life, that when you wake up, you just hurt. Painful joints from arthritis, they can affect anyone and make it hard to do pretty much anything. And if on this, Tuesday playoff morning, you're hearing my voice and you're living in that kind of pain, then you got to reach out to my friend, Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine right over there in Kirkland. He has seen so many of you, so many folks suffering from chronic pain caused by arthritis, bursitis, tendonitis, anything. So don't let pain stop you from enjoying your life. Consider Dr. Nelson the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques. Many have jumped aboard the regenerative medicine train lately, not Dr. Nelson. This has been his heart and his passion for his career. And he's got a big old tool bag with lots of tools, including stem cell therapy and PRP treatment and everything else. So consider that with Dr. Nelson at 425-823-4000, 425-823-4000, or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
If you use the carpool or toll lanes along SR 167 without a Good to Go account, you'll soon receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A Good to Go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
At O'Neill Plumbing, we don't just promise to get the job done, we back it up. No travel charge, no show-up fee, no overinflated pricing, and no out-of-town owners. Just clean, fast, and professional each and every day. O'Neill Plumbing.
Home of your American League West Division champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
New siding doesn't have to break the bank. We offer affordable options that add value and protection to your home. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. And while we're at it, ask about our roofing, windows, decking, and gutter services for even more savings. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free siding inspection. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Dino was suffering from a rotator cuff tear in his right shoulder.
Part of the pain is like taking off my shirt. I couldn't even really button my pants. I could actually qualify for a shoulder replacement if I wanted to go that route.
He chose to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I heard the commercials for Dr. Wagner. I did my research. I thought about surgery, but the recovery time was so long, I didn't want to have to be in a sling. I want to be able to retire in a few months, get back to bike riding and playing golf without any pain in my shoulder.
Dino knew from experience that stem cell therapy works. Dr. Wagner had already helped him recover from osteoarthritis in his thumb, but he's not done yet.
And now 2 years later, I'm having an issue with my left shoulder, so I've got it scheduled, and I'm going to go back to see Dr. Wagner again because it was so successful.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Hey, it's John Curley with some great news. If your home's heating or cooling is uneven, noisy, or expensive, listen up. The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump System from Home Comfort Lines is changing the game. It gives you room-by-room control and next-gen efficiency, so you're only heating where you need it. That means real comfort and real savings, and every Quilt system qualifies for max tax credits. Trusted for 50 years. Call the comfort people today at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
All right, after a nice day to travel, acclimate yourself to beautiful Detroit, Brock, the Mariners ready to resume their division series this afternoon. A 1 p.m. first pitch, which you can hear, of course, on 710 or on the Seattle Sports app. One advantage of not throwing your opening day starter in game 1 or 2 at home, you got him ready for game 3, and so Logan Gilbert will be on the mound.
As we've talked about all along in this series and throughout the the postseason, just that experience can go a long way, and having one of those under his belt again, will help him as he gets out there, and it's mostly about using the energy that you feel and using it in the right direction, and he has pitched some big games for us down the stretch here, and his first opportunity to get out there for us tomorrow, and I think he's ready and raring to go, and I'm excited to have him out there.
Most pivotal pitch today will be his splitter to Carpenter and to Green and a couple of the dangerous guys.
You would think so.
I would think so.
Yeah. I mean, especially to Carpenter, and just something that can move away from him, almost treat it the way a lefty would. Yeah, I would say that's pretty huge. Adam Jude, though, actually kind of pointing at the offense as a big way that they can succeed on the road today.
Take the crowd out of it early. I think that was the one recipe that the Mariners used successfully in Houston a couple weeks ago to really take control of the AL West. They jumped on the Astros early and really quieted that crowd. We know what we felt it the last 2 days in Seattle, just with the atmosphere with the sellout crowd and the fans, and just how much of a difference that can make. And the players have talked about it. Shoot, even the Tigers players were talking about it the last couple of days. Like, that was the best environment they've ever been in. And it's going to feel similar, I have no doubt, here at Comerica Park in Detroit the next couple of days.
That's the one thing I did like about both the home games. Didn't win both of them, so but I like that you got a lead. Now, it wasn't a big lead in the playoffs. It's really hard to get up 7-0 like they did in Houston with JP's grand slam to sweep those Astros away on that Sunday. But just this team gets a chance to play from ahead they're usually pretty good. And I think why that old player sent you what he sent, why maybe some of your gut feels the way it does, Salk, is, hey, man, when your best players are at their best, the old Mike Hewitism, on the biggest stages and in the biggest games, your best players have to rise. And over the weekend, you were the best players for the Mariners,
Yeah,
Cal
right.
and Julio.
Yeah, and throw even Polanco in there because you need to have one more go with them. And if Polanco's going to step up into that role. Now, I got some concerns about some of the guys like Dominic Canzone and, can a young player like that start to, feel what postseason baseball is like? I don't know. We'll see. But, yeah, I do feel pretty good about where they're at today. No Josh Naylor yesterday. We'll find out where he's at today as they will eventually head over to Comerica Park. It was a personal day, likely to be with his wife, who was due to give birth in Arizona. Hopefully all goes well, and maybe he can join the team as soon as today, maybe tomorrow.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Man, I really enjoyed Mike Macdonald yesterday, Brock. You and I haven't had a chance to talk about him much, but I thought that was about as transparent, open, honest, accountable as we've heard him. Not that he's not always those things, but I think he was just great yesterday and going through why he believes in the team. We'll dig into that a little bit more. And then specifically, like, hey, look, we just got to tackle better. It's pretty simple.
Our tackling right now is not our standard. It's not good enough, and we work it every day. We work our every meeting, and something is not getting that. It's not. The dots are not getting connected right now. So that's something that we're evaluating as we speak, and we have to address it because it must be better. There's way too many hidden yardage out there where it's putting us in more defensive positions, and guys are getting leaky yards on us. So it's it needs to improve.
Last year, Salky, getting everybody on the same page, right? First-time head coach. Last year, first-time head coach, maybe my messaging or, maybe my game plan. Or, if this new offensive system was struggling with some pre-snap stuff and movements, and we saw a little bit of that in Arizona, you can live with that. When your team doesn't tackle, it feels almost personal. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the other professional stuff. That's the professional things that I need to clean up that everybody's always chasing. But when your team doesn't run and hit, and it is the very emphasis of your program, I think you felt that little turn of it, again, it was a little more personal, a little more real in some of that frustration yesterday.
They're also dealing with quite a few injuries. He gave, I could say updates. He didn't say a whole lot, but here's what he said about a few of the guys.
Yeah, Julian, sounds like we're going to be working through this all week. So I'm not sure what his practice availability is on what's today? On Monday. So on Wednesday or Thursday, not sure. Spoon, I think he was getting imaged as we speak. So we'll still figure that out. Hopefully we get him back. We'll see. D-Law, we're hopeful that he can start practicing and go. Derek Hall, it looks like he might miss this game, maybe a couple games with his oblique. So we got to work through the severity of that and the timetable, whether or not that means, what that means timetable-wise. I know we got the bye coming up here in a few weeks.
I don't like obliques. That doesn't.
You know what? I'd like to go back to my era in the 90s. Maybe sometime I'll do this. I just don't remember this. And maybe I'm just dumb. Maybe it's early CTE.
Yeah.
I just don't remember like 7-8 guys on my team having hamstrings and quads and abs, and like there was certainly blunt trauma, and you lost guys to a broken leg or separated shoulder. But man,
or the knee injuries and that type of stuff.
Golly, all, and it's not Seattle specific; it's the whole league.
Well, do you think it's just because they're so jacked and so
maybe they're so much faster? I guess.
Yeah, they're that much faster. The bodies are there's that little fat on them. They're stretched to such an extent that maybe it's hard to maintain it. That would be my assumption, Brock, but because I don't think it's that the guys are out of shape or more prone to pain.
Do you think their fat is stretched better? Is that what you said? So now they're leaner?
I don't know the best way to describe what I'm saying. Let's go to the next need to know.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
See, we got these bumps in the carpet upstairs, Salk, and Grandma Peg.
I'm saying the muscles are too stretched.
I think you can stretch your carpet now.
I'm saying the muscles are stretched to the limit, I think is what I was trying to say.
Sounds like science.
It's pseudoscience. It's pseudoscience, Maura. Phillies, man, they are getting knocked around by the Dodgers right now. They lose again yesterday. Good job bunting in the late innings. That was smart. LA scores 4 in the 7th, and just as usual has to hang on for dear life as their pen has all kinds of problems. Milwaukee, man, Brock, you just said, hey, it's hard to get up to a big lead. Tell that to Toronto and Milwaukee. Milwaukee's like, oh, you're going to score 3 in the first? Don't worry, we'll match that and then drop 4 more on you with a whole bunch of
Those
home
two
runs.
look like the best teams going, right?
The Dodgers,
at least right now.
Yeah, I mean, Toronto looked better than expected, that's for sure, against the Yankees. So I don't know yet. But yes, I would agree. It looks like the Dodgers have flipped the switch. And then Trevor Lawrence, a wild ride, man. That guy seems not that bright, but also still really physically talented. And the play he made to win the game last night.
First and goal with 30 seconds left. Now Lawrence goes down, has to get up, breaks a tackle, touchdown Jacksonville.
Did you find yourself thinking that if Kansas City had a big play Babs on their team, that wouldn't have happened?
I thought myself thinking 2 things. He looked like a baby giraffe after birth. Giraffes are a creature that can walk right away like most, but it takes them a little while as they stumble and they fumble and they kind of fall. And then I thought, man, if I'm Trevor Lawrence, his wife, his dad, like, oh, this is going to be so cool. He had the game-winning play to beat the Chiefs at the end. That's his SportsCenter highlight. Getting stepped on, then falling like a drunk guy, then breaking a tackle.
Hey, he got it all done, though.
But whatever
he got it done.
Takes.
He made some really dumb plays leading up to that. That's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. Okay, Mariners are on the road today. There is a big watch party at T-Mobile today and tomorrow for the biggest, best screen in Seattle. General admission tickets, $15. Season ticket members get discounted tickets for $10. Go to mariners.com/watch party if you want to go hang out with everybody and watch the game today. Jeff Passan has to go early. He's taking a bus, so I'm guessing that is he in Milwaukee heading to Chicago? That might be the case. I'm not sure. We'll check in with Jeff next and spend some time with him coming up on Brock and Salk.
3 hours before first pitch of every Mariners playoff game, it's the Mariners Pennant Push, featuring former Mariners pitcher Charlie Furbush.
It's game changers, the crowd here.
And MLB Network insider John Morosi.
Cal Raleigh to be the MVP that would look exactly like it looks.
Today at 10 a.m. Then it's Game 3 of the American League Division Series. First pitch at 1:08, where you hear the American League West champion Mariners in the postseason. Seattle Sports.
All right, let's talk through the impending rain and cold weather, maybe specifically the cold, because obviously it's coming. We've been pretty lucky so far in October, but you know how this goes. And if you don't have enough insulation in your house, you're cold at night, and then you start bleeding money through the electricity bills or gas bills every month. Like, you don't want to deal with that. It's why you call Crawl Pros. Let them come out to your house, give you a free corner-to-corner inspection of your crawl space and attic, and then they can figure out what's going on. If you've got insulation issues and they've got to be replaced, you may get sweet rebates to deal with it. If you're a PSC customer, your home was built before 1990, you could qualify to get a rebate on up to 95% of the cost to properly insulate that crawl space and attic. That's huge, 95%. So just let Crawl Pros come out and check the house, see if you're properly insulated. Do it now before the cooler fall and winter weather comes in. Call Crawl Pros. They are the crawl space experts. So if you're worried about critters, mold, water damage, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic, call Crawl Pros or go to crawlpros.com.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service will help your company with logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linen, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do. Visit suplinen.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Golf carts are fun and easy to drive. They can zip along up to 15 miles per hour in the sunshine, warm air, with your foot firmly on the dashboard. Now that's living. Pacific Power Batteries has some sweet 2021 club car Tempos for sale at about half the price of a brand new one. We offer a 2 or 4 seat model with capacity rated batteries and a 30-day, no hassle, money back satisfaction guarantee. Have a look online at pacificpowerbatteries.com.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
Your home for baseball's postseason and your American League West champion Mariners. Seattle Sports.
Does your yard need shade, privacy, or a little brightening up? Look no further than Big Trees. I'm Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. At our 30-acre location, there are thousands of trees to choose from and knowledgeable staff, including a board-certified master arborist, to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Visit the nursery and learn more about Big Trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Temperatures are dropping, but you don't have to settle for a chilly home this winter. Keep cozy and safe with energy-saving products during Washington Energy's home heating sale on now. Upgrading your home is as easy as $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 off. Take $1,000 off furnaces, fireplaces, and water heaters, $2,000 off high-efficiency heat pump systems, and $3,000 off whole home generators and ductless mini splits, plus free financing. Washington Energy Services, your expert resource for affordable home comfort. Call for a free estimate.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king.
With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge.
He wants more, he's got to have more.
More bedtime true crime.
More podcasts in the shower.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More. Fast internet speed.
He's got the gigs to go big, bring him the games.
Right now.
And his royal we.
More sports non-stop. His quantum fiber's on top. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service, and speed in select locations only.
Is your car road trip ready? Don't get stranded. Get to Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Bucky's has been preparing cars, trucks, and SUVs for safe, worry-free travel for over 50 years. We take care of your car with experience and good old-fashioned customer service. For all your oil changes, brakes, AC charging, and factory maintenance, choose Bucky's. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit Bucky's.com. Bucky's, where your car feels right at home.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, gearing up for hopefully Game 3 today in Detroit, weather permitting. And as our favorite ESPN baseball insider bounces around, we get Jeff Passan a little earlier than usual today. Good morning, Jeffrey. Where are you? You said you're taking a train, so I got to imagine you are going from Milwaukee to Chicago?
Incorrect.
Where are you going?
Philadelphia to New York.
Okay. I was trying to think of which series would allow you that, but you're switching
Where do you
series.
think they would put Jeff? Salk?
Right. Shame
Come
on me.
on.
Shame. I mean, I was trying to imagine
Come
Jeff
on.
being at, like, the ESPN put its resources into the Brewers, but I realized that was a non-starter. So now it all comes together. Cool. What have you seen so far? What do you make of where we're at so far here in the postseason?
Oh man, I mean, where do you want me to start? I guess I can go in the National League. The Brewers and the Dodgers being on a crash course for a series that I think is, if it happens, going to be one of the more important National League championship series we've seen in a really long time. And here's why. Because I think this is going to be one of those series that among fans is narratively framed as a series that is, to be just a little bit dramatic here, for the soul of baseball. Mm-hmm. And I say that because it's impossible to get it lined up more perfectly with what's going on in the baseball labor world. For those who don't know, the collective bargaining agreement expires December 1st, 2026. Owners want a salary cap. Players do not. If the Milwaukee Brewers make the World Series, the argument that championships or the World Series is only for teams that go and spend goo gobs of money kind of falls on its face a little bit. But if the Dodgers make the World Series again and win the World Series again with a $500 million payroll, far bigger than any other team in Major League Baseball right now, it's just going to be really hard for the players to argue publicly against this idea that there isn't something wrong with the financial state of baseball at this point. So beyond all those implications, I just think it would be a rad series between teams that were built differently, but can play at that very high level. In the American League, on the other hand, we'll see how the Yankees respond today, but it looks like the best series just in terms of competitiveness is between the Seattle Mariners and Detroit Tigers. And the first two games have been whoppers. Like, I know you guys are having heart attacks with every single pitch that's thrown, but as somebody with no vested interest beyond his radio hits on this station every week in either of these teams, watching it from afar, it's been intense, good baseball, and I've really enjoyed it.
I would say you're incorrect, Your Honor. I would say you do have a vested interest. I'd say some 18 months ago, in April of 2024, you had a Julio Rodriguez piece ready to go, and that thing has sat on the shelf for a year and a half. And after his performance this weekend, if he can continue to do so through this postseason, may you dust that article finally off.
Now that you mention it, there's a real possibility of it, actually.
He looked really good.
But I feel like he looks awesome. I need to be on a series with him for that. I can't do that from afar. And I don't know at this point whether I'm going to be on the American League or National League. It depends what teams are still in it, and the geographic locations of my coworkers, and that's sort of how these things are determined. Actually,
right, so
like we've got somebody who lives in Chicago who's probably going to want to be on a Milwaukee series. We've got someone who lives in LA, so I might wind up on the ALCS.
What all that aside, what do you make of what Julio's done through the first, and for all of the conversations we've had, Jeff, over the last 3 years of Julio this and Julio that? What have you made of just the Julio Rodriguez experience through the first two games of this series?
Doesn't he look so comfortable? Mm-hmm. Like that to me has been the biggest takeaway. How at ease and at home he looks in these big moments. And that's what you want from your star, right? You never know what he's going to respond like when. And I think both Julio Rodriguez and Cal Raleigh, at least over these two games, have shown that they are ready to meet the moment. And the way that they pulled off game two, and the circumstances after it gets tied of bouncing right back and answering right back with your two best players and back-to-back doubles. I just thought it was really, really impressive, and says a lot about, as a fan, I think, how you can feel watching these things. The inherent nervousness that comes from these games, it's palpable. But when Julio steps up, when Cal steps up, you feel a little bit of comfort. It's like a warm blanket surrounding you and saying, it will be okay, friend. You don't have to hyperventilate.
Jeffrey, did you see the video of the Mariner fan crying?
I did, yes.
So you do these hits, I'm sure, in many parts of the country, maybe not all 30 major league markets every single week. We're kind of spoiled in that way to get you all throughout the season. But you do them in enough markets. You've been around enough fan bases.
I don't actually, Brock. I don't go on the radio very often. Too much of me is not a good thing.
I would agree with that.
I mean, every once in a while, like Salk, your mouth will run in ways that
you'd like back.
Yeah, maybe you said something about the Mariners fans some years ago, but I think you've totally forgiven. I think
you're bringing that up now of all times.
Well, right now we're at the precipice. You said earlier about heart attacks. We got fans just crying in the stands. We got people, 47,000 of them. I mean. Like if you were to characterize this Mariners fan base from what your own life experience, what your eyes have seen, how would you describe them?
I'm trying to
carefully so that he doesn't get in trouble again.
Yeah, seriously,
this is a gotcha question. Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah,
I mean, we've not been to the World Series, and I say we because I am a fan at heart with this as much as anything else that I talk about. Like. Yeah, the Seahawks, I played for them, so, there's a little difference there. I'm still a fan of them, but the Mariners, I'm a fan. I'm a 12-year-old fan. I'm at school today with schools in the Pacific Northwest that I think they still have televisions. They'll roll into the room, the good teachers will, to put that game on when it comes at 1 o'clock today, right? That was my life experience. I feel like I've got a certain sense, but I'm curious from your perspective. It's a much bigger perspective of how you see these Mariners fans.
I think the word that I would go with is deserving. And that comes less from my firsthand experience with Seattle fans and more from my firsthand experience growing up in Cleveland. And I'm certain that there are people in Seattle who balk at the idea of being compared to Cleveland in any way whatsoever, and I entirely understand that. But when it comes to sports, guys, there is no fan base that's had it worse than Cleveland. There just isn't. And I think what I marvel at with Cleveland sports fans is their willingness to have their hearts broken every single time. And the vulnerability that it takes to be a sports fan of a tortured city. And this Mariners organization, it's been around for a really long time, and it has not achieved the ultimate goal in that time. And because of that, I think it's left fans feeling like, oh my God, maybe this can actually be something. So while I have never been driven to tears mid-game, I'm not going to sit here and actually, no, that's a lie. I did judge him a little bit, but it's okay. Like I might judge you a little.
Sure.
But I get it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's a fair in between. Yeah, a little judgment, just not too much judgment.
It might have been a little more than a little, but I get it.
So, Jeff, you watch these games. I've watched a ton of postseason baseball. I think almost every game so far this year. And what strikes me, if you have to put all of the games together, the first 4 innings roughly are all about the starting pitcher against that day's offense. The last 3 or 4 innings are an almost scripted parade of ridiculous relievers throwing 98 plus with ridiculous secondary pitches, and a couple of maybe pinch hitting moves, but for the most part, just good luck trying to hit these guys, and we'll see what happens. And then right in the middle of these 2 different games is the 5th inning. Maybe occasionally it's the 4th or the 6th, but for the most part, it's the 5th inning where the pitcher is dealing with the lineup coming around a third time, and the manager of the pitching team has to make some decisions on what they want to do, and the manager of the hitting team has to decide whether or not they're willing to take out some of their best hitters because of matchup situations. What have you made of the decision-making process throughout baseball in that middle inning so far in the postseason?
I think all of it is just influenced by the overwhelming level of stuff that we're seeing in the playoffs. And I think that, to me, is the biggest takeaway that I have from it. And that is best personified by the fact that during the regular season, the average fastball was an all-time high in Major League Baseball at 94.4 miles per hour. Do you know what the average fastball has been in the postseason this year?
It feels like it's been about 96.
That's a Mike Salk ball, 96.1. We're seeing 104 from Jacob Mizorowski again and again and again, and we're seeing 104 from Mason Miller. And it's like you see 100 now, and you're just like, yep. It used to be you see 100 and it was, oh, my God. Now it's like Carlos Vargas throwing 100 casually.
Yeah,
chain break.
It feels like Fox is going to have to take away that little fire emoji thing they have, the fire graphic, when it hits 100, because it's got to now be 104 in order to qualify for the little fire thing.
Yeah, there's a little too much fire happening right now, and it's scary for hitters, and it's frankly it's daunting when it comes to scoring runs, which is why I think getting an early lead is such an imperative thing in these games. Like you don't want to be the team playing from behind when there's a parade of relievers with just absurd arms coming in. And honestly, the Tigers are maybe the least of those concerns. When you look at their bullpen, when it comes to guys who are throwing exceptionally hard, Will Vest is upper 90s. Kyle Finnegan can touch 100 with his fastball. But beyond that, the power reliever element of the Tigers is one of the things that, frankly, they're missing, and a real vulnerability, I think, in this series. But the Mariners, they've got their power arms, and they just need to play clean baseball. I mean, we saw that, Josh Naylor kicks a ball after a leadoff walk, and all of a sudden you put yourself in that vulnerable position, and bad things can happen. And you just need to – it's why every out among the 27 in the postseason is so important, guys. You just cannot give opportunities to teams that are here because they cashed in on those opportunities during the regular season. That's the thing. These teams that are left right now, they're not teams that are particularly inclined to fold. So it's not going to get any easier if the Mariners survive this round.
Biggest key for Walter today in this matchup?
I think the location of his splitter, because the Tigers are going to march out a very left-handed lineup. And the one way to neutralize left-handers is by throwing the pitch that dive bombs away from them. We've seen the splitter more this postseason, guys, already than we have in any postseason in the last 25 years. It has become the pitch du jour, whether it's Cam Schlittler or Trey Savage. Kevin Gausman dominated the Yankees with it. Roki Sasaki's splitter has been obscene. And Logan Gilbert learning that a couple of years ago, I think, is the personification of who he is as a pitcher, somebody who will toy and tinker and use his natural feel for the baseball to figure out how to get outs. And for games like this, fastball command inside and splitter being able to locate it starting in the zone and moving outside of it, I think will be everything for Logan Gilbert.
I know there's good reasons for it, but would you blame anyone in Seattle for being a little irritated that the Mariners have been signed up here for 3 straight day games? 1 o'clock start West Coast time today, noon tomorrow, and then potentially 1:40 on Friday. I get that they've got a lot of different windows and you can't get the primetime game every night, and Seattle is not New York or some of the other big markets, but 3 straight day games for the postseason feels a bit much.
It's a little weird. I'd say my only counter to that is go win a championship and people start caring about you more and give you primetime slots. Like that's just sort of like the way sports is. And as much as
but the only problem with it, I don't. You're right, and I know it, and we all know why it happens this way. But the only challenge with that is that's the organization. The people who were hurt by the 1 o'clock, 1:40 starts are the fans who have absolutely nothing to do with whether or not their team has won a championship or not. They just want to watch their team in the postseason. Like, who's more excited right now? Milwaukee fans certainly are. It's kind of new to them over the last few years, but I understand it.
Jays fans absolutely are right there. Good. And I would argue Dodgers fans are pretty thrilled right now.
This is new territory, and it does feel like the people made to suffer because the team hasn't been in the postseason a lot and built a national fan base are the local fans who literally can't watch because they're at work.
Mike, you sound a little bit spoiled.
Do I? I don't have to work then. It's fine for me. I feel bad for the fans.
We got a lot of techies. They got the TVs in their cubicles. We're fine.
Hey, it benefits us. People can just listen on the radio. It's good for us.
Yeah. No, you don't sound spoiled. That was just a mediocre joke. I look at a situation like this through the lens of somebody who has no vested stake, and when that's the case, I just look at the facts, and the facts are that if the New York Yankees can play in prime time, they're going to. Mm-hmm. Like that's just reality, and it stinks, and it's not ideal. And for all of the fans who have to lie to their bosses today, I urge you concoct a good plan. Mm-hmm. Don't come with a mediocre lie, and maybe in fact even tell them the truth. And the truth might be that as much as I appreciate this job, Seattle Mariners are more important. And any boss who doesn't take that and doesn't accept that is not someone that you want to work for anyway.
People don't leave jobs, they leave managers, right? That's what we always hear. So if your boss doesn't let you leave today, it's probably time to leave. I like that philosophy.
Speaking of facts, nothing personal, just speaking of facts. What's your life experience in baseball been with those players that may or may not be waiting on a baby, that may or may not be with
So this
the team?
is a second labor question for Jeff Passan today.
I'm the perfect person to ask this question to, because I wrote a really long story about this during the postseason. Good Lord, it's been it's been 6 years now. Back in 2019, Daniel Hudson, who I wrote a book about coming back from his back-to-back Tommy John surgeries. I've gotten to know the Hudson family very well. I'm extraordinarily fond of them. And Sarah Hudson was due with their third daughter in the middle of October. And Daniel Hudson missed a postseason game. He was closing for the Nationals, but he was not going to miss the birth of his third daughter. And I, instead of covering a game, went with him back to Arizona and was at the hospital and wrote a whole story about the conflict there. But for him and for Josh Naylor, as important as baseball is, as wonderful as it is, your family always matters more. And any fan who has any intentions of trying to tell Josh Naylor what he and his family should do, just remember this little bit of advice I have right now. It's going to be very simple. Shut up. The kid is exponentially more important than any baseball game ever will be. And if the Mariners can't win without Josh Naylor, they probably weren't going to win with him.
Well, and probably just to add to that, you don't know what the health situations are, what else they're dealing with.
Absolutely.
You couldn't be more right about all of that. So, Jeff, this is great. Thank you for doing it. Enjoy the train is the best. The East Coast train rides are super fun. So I love that you get to do that.
If I could travel by train exclusively, I would.
That's a straight napping scenario right there. You put me on a train, I am out.
I
like
take a
light.
ferry. I take parked in the car in the ferry.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's a good nap too, by the way. Lean
Hold
that
on,
seat back.
you nap on a see? I feel like napping on a train is dangerous.
Nope. Oh, you mean because I've gone past my stop?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that. I did that on the T in Boston. I've definitely slept past my stop twice.
Oh yeah,
on the T in Boston, and ended up in the last stop with the captain or whoever it is, the person who speaks into the train, coming out to talk to me. And thankfully, they didn't use the whole thing. Oh, it's next stop. I was, excuse me, it's time to get off. So I had to leave the train at that point. Jeff, seriously, thank you. The only thing I heard today was Salk nose ball. So thank you for that and for everything else. And we'll talk to you next week.
Enjoy the games this week. I hope we have good stuff to talk about next week.
Seriously, yeah. It's either going to be, postmortem,
Okay, here we go.
or it's
Here we
going to
go.
be ALCS action. Pretty cool. Bye, Jeff. Talk to you soon.
See you, boys.
There you go. Jeff Passan, who usually joins us at 8:30 on Tuesdays, but today at 7:30, Shannon's going to be with us at 9. We're going to find out what's going on with the weather and Josh Naylor and everything else over at the ballpark. Shannon will join us at 9. Daniel Jeremiah at 9:30. We'll do a little late version of Blue 88 at 8:45. Hopefully you can follow all of those things. Mostly baseball thing. We're going to quick little football thing next, because Brock, I think we both kind of heard some sound that I don't know, made our ears perk up and probably took us in two different directions. It's next on Brock and Salk.
After a split of the first two at T-Mobile,
Blasted left field. He's done it again. Jorge Polanco.
it's Tridents up for Game 3 in Detroit.
I know they're not going to like us over there.
The Mariners look to pull ahead in the best-of-5 division series today. First pitch at 1:08. Extended pregame coverage starting at 10 a.m. And there's only one place you can hear the American League West champion Mariners in the playoffs. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included, for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Let's go.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
Designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
Windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Cancer impacts so many families, including mine. Former Washington Husky Mario Bailey here. My mother was treated for cancer at UW Medicine. As devastating as cancer is, there is hope, because the Cancer Vaccine Institute is developing vaccines to treat and prevent the deadliest cancers. Patients who received vaccines over 20 years ago are still alive today. Please join me and make a donation to the Cancer Vaccine Institute at local Safeway stores. Learn more at uwcvi.org.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Let's go! You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
When the heat's in 11,
cool AC would be heaven.
Dayandnight.net. It's the final month to save 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump while supplies last at Day and Night.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Save 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump plus no payments or interest for a year OAC. Call for details.
Dayandnight.net. Are you worried about economic conditions, tariffs, and inflation? Are you tired of trying to time the stock market? Maybe it's time to take a little risk off the table given current market volatility. For stability, there's no better option than Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, a fixed return of 9%. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. We've been running local real estate investment funds for over 18 years with zero investor losses, averaging double-digit returns since inception, and we also accept IRAs. Over 1,000 local investors have invested over $250 million in our Legacy family of funds. Feeling uneasy? Don't gamble your hard-earned money or risk your retirement. Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, returning 9%, has limited openings for new investors right now.
Call 425-635-4700 or visit LegacyG.com. That's LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Legacy investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Baseball's postseason is here. Seattle Sports Playoff coverage is presented by Honey Bucket, 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to accuse you of manager.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
Hello! All right, mostly baseball today, but a little bit of football thrown in as...
We've not done enough, Salk. We've not thanked Richard Sherman enough. The most viewed YouTube on our station's history.
Yeah.
And the open to the 8 a.m. hour, the open to the 7 a.m. hour with Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
Like, we really have not thanked
No,
Richard
that's right.
enough.
I would
so
agree.
Thanks, Sherm.
Yeah, thanks, Sherm. That's exactly right.
you.
Any chance we could change that Sherm quote to Passan saying Salk knows ball? Any chance? Any chance we could do that? Because that seemed pretty good. We could put that right into the open and go from there. No? Okay. Yeah, let's ignore that one. That one will get lost to history. But Richard Sherman coming on to try to run our show will get to live on forever. That's great. Thanks. That's really cool.
That's the way it works.
Colin Cowherd is very into the Seahawks for whatever reason. He almost always is, and maybe just growing up in Washington. But here he is with the Cowherd podcast.
Westport guy, Eastern Washington guy, Inferno Field guy.
With John Middlecoff, talking about the Seahawks and maybe more specifically about Sam Darnold and how excited he is.
Seattle's a really good team. They're the second youngest offense in the league. So if you're a Seahawk fan, you got some good years ahead. You know, it's also, I don't know, I mean, I wouldn't worry about drafting a quarterback if I'm Seattle. I think they found. I mean, Darnold's still young. When he's still
totally.
When When he was drafted by the Jets, he was 21. I think he's 27 or 28 now. You got 5 more peak years.
Yeah, to me, I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about college. You look around the landscape of college football, it doesn't look like a lot of Joe Burrows coming into the league here.
So the idea there is they found their franchise quarterback.
He's 28, by the way.
Yeah.
He turned 28 in June.
That's going to be a little hard for me.
5 games, not enough?
Well, there's 2 things that are going to be hard for me here. And I hate to focus on them because I love what Darnold has done so far. And let me start, and I know that people only ever hear what comes after the but I think in this case what happens before the but is actually somewhat important. I'm absolutely open to the idea that Sam Darnold could be the Seahawks franchise quarterback moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
I am 100% open to the idea that that is true and that he is starting that process now. And by the end of the year, it will be confirmed and they should move forward with Sam Darnold, who, like Baker Mayfield, has figured it out and is now ready to live up to the promise of his top 5 draft pick. I'm 100% open to that, but not after 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
It is too early. Seasons are 17 games long for a reason, and there is still so much we need to learn about him over the course of the next 12 games. How does he handle lousy weather? How does he handle a couple of losses in a row and with the locker room? And how does he handle the reliability of staying healthy over the, like, there are so many things that go into being a franchise quarterback that are not possibly seen on October 6th or 7th. That would be a bridge too far for me. I really like what we've seen from Darnold, but that would be, I'm not ready to say that.
So you're not ready to put your name on it? I'm
Not
not going to
yet.
put my name on that yet.
I'm happy Colin feels that way, but I'm not
Are you willing to put your name on the fact they absolutely made the right decision this offseason?
No, I really do think that they could have gone back. I think bringing Geno back would have been a good move. I was always pretty adamant that they should bring back Geno, and I really wish they had.
Are you ready to put your name on that, or do you think Geno can turn it around these next 12 weeks?
God, Maura, I almost sent you this, but I know that it's hard to sometimes grab sound off Instagram. Did you see any of Bill Simmons talking about Geno this week?
No.
Where he's just like, that guy's cooked. Like, he's just done. He's like, the Seahawks got rid of him at the right time. He's just done. He's just bad now. He was just going off on Geno. Yes, of course I'm willing to put my name on that, Brock.
Yeah.
Because there's I never felt like they had that possibility.
That's the first step
Geno.
of this process, right? As you're evaluating, you're taking in all the data. The first step of it's you got to make a pretty, at the time, it was a fairly bold move. It was bold enough to grab the attention of the whole country, the sports country, and all the conversations around the combine and the draft. And oh my gosh, here's John Schneider doing it again. He did it, a few years back, moving on from Russell Wilson. Now he's moving on from Geno. He's bringing Sam. He's gotten younger, and it was divided. I think there were many an article and many an analyst that you could find out there saying, "Ooh, I wouldn't have done this."
I think you know very well I was not one of those people.
I think there were many a power ranking that had Geno nearly a top 10 QB this year.
And those were dumb. I don't know what to tell you. We watched the guy for a few years. He's not going to win a Super Bowl. Sorry. So Sam Darnold could. I don't know if he's gonna or not, but as of now, 5 games in, I'm open to the idea that he could be a franchise quarterback that could take this team to the promised land. I believe that's possible, but I'm not willing to, as I just said, commit after 5 games. The other problem, Brock, is for, 2 of his 3 opportunities in the late game situation have resulted in turnovers. You can say, well, the first one was a fumble because Abe Lucas got beat, and
it was.
I know, and the second one was a pick because it went off.
And it did. Yep.
Tough
noogies.
Because the other side of that is, well, the first one happened because he couldn't hold on to the ball, and he should have felt the pressure, and he could have moved, and I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's the game. And the second one, throw it away in a different spot or make the right call, as he said, at the line of script. Like, there are always ways to do things differently, and you get judged on the final result. Does it make me say he's a bad late-game quarterback? No, because I'm not, blind to the Abe Lucas issue or the helmet issue. They happened. But you've had 3 chances to march down the field and win the game when it matters, and you've lost 2 of them, both at home. That's a challenge that you've got to get over. And I think that over the next 12 games, he can certainly prove that he can do that. But 5 games in, I'm not like 100% willing to commit forever and get married until I have some answers to those questions.
I think you'll hear from DJ in an hour and 20 minutes. I think you'll hear from Klatt tomorrow at 8:30 when Joel joins us. Just former quarterbacks. And I think, I would echo what they're going to say, and I know what they're going to say, is that the most like sustainable and predictive thing, I think in some ways football is more predictive than baseball. And some of the like most sustainable and predictive stuff with Sam are his fundamentals, his accuracy, his calm. These things that when you watch young QBs, deer in headlights, when you watch Milroe, the game's too fast. When you watch, guys that are middle tier guys, the game is just too fast for them. Sam is slowing it down and playing at such a level now, Salk. I mean, these 5 games collectively have been a higher level than he even played last year in Minnesota.
Absolutely. He's
when
been
it comes
tremendous.
to his rating and his completion percentage and his accuracy and his efficiency, it's been some really, really good stuff here out the gate.
Are you willing, though, to agree that it's too early to make that proclamation?
I am, but man, is it overwhelmingly positive.
Absolutely.
And probably more positive. Like if you would have written a script and I would have written a script and Maura would have written a script and Lyle, like, okay, what is the best case through 5 games here with this team from a Sam Darnold perspective only? Well, a 3-to-1 completion percentage.
Unbelievable.
Or touchdown interception, a 73% completion percentage. Number 2 in the league in QBR. Number 3 in the league in pass efficiency at 114.
Yeah, but you got to convert those, man. And it's not even that they didn't just convert. They both ended in turnovers, one of which specifically gave the other team a chance to win the game. Like, at least if they had just failed and they punted there, like you don't just give them the chance to win. I don't know. Those two are going to stick with me. I'm sorry. I've been very clear about it for as long as you and I have known each other, and that's not going away. There's still plenty of time, and I'm still very open-minded to everything you just said. It's all real. I love what Darnold's done. I've been really impressed. But I don't know about, like, hey, you're set for life?
I'll tell you this, though. I'll tell you this, and maybe this will be an exercise with Klatt tomorrow. How many other QBs would you rather have than this guy for the next 3 to 4 years?
Oh, I'd have to think about that.
That conversation changes a lot. We did that before the season. I know.
That's a good one. I might have to think about that a little bit. All right. Seahawks underway. We want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch the aforementioned Sam Darnold and the Seahawks game on Monday night, October 20th. All you got to do is open that Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab, and find out how if you don't already have the app. Shame on you. Simply text the word app, A-P-P.
You know me.
To 866-979-3776, and we will send you a link to download. Enter every day to increase your chances to win. The contest runs through Monday, October 13th. 509 says, Sherm is the voice of most of us who listen daily. We all look forward to the time you take off, Salk, and a guest host takes over. The show is always better when you're gone. Well, thank you. That is nice of you to say. Thank you for brightening what could have been a gray day. It's a good thing you were here, 509, for me. I appreciate you.
The Mike Macdonald Show, the morning after every Seahawks game at 9:30 with Brock and Salk.
Well, frustration yesterday, I'm sure.
Yeah, of course you're frustrated, you're disappointed, you're edgy, motivated to get it right, motivated to move forward. When you don't play the way that you expect to play, and that's a tough pill to swallow. It's a tough punch to take right there. You want to go make it right immediately.
Get the podcast on the Seattle Sports app and seattlesports.com.
Oh, I like that line right there. You want to make it right immediately. Well, if you want to make it right with your insurance, if you're frustrated not knowing, am I paying the lowest rates? Do I have covered what I need covered? Has your family situation changed? If you're in any of those situations, then do what Molly and me, my mom and dad, so many of my friends have done. Take the First Mark Insurance Challenge and find out. We heard so many of these victories over the years that save people money. I mean, I am so glad Molly and I did it. Not only has it saved us significantly the last couple of years, we know exactly what we've got covered. And here's how First Mark will go to work for you. They fully analyze your coverage, making sure you're not overpaying for the wrong coverage. Then they go to the market. Dozens of major carriers they have worked with for years to find you the best fit. That's it. The stress and the confusion off your shoulders and right onto the shoulders of, First Mark, a teammate that's been there and done it for the last 30 years, successfully managing this world of insurance. So please don't wait a morning longer. Take the First Mark Challenge totally free, and you might be that next First Mark Challenge victory. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. That's firstmarkinsurance.com. Your teammate that goes to work for you.
Tired of uneven heating, noisy systems, and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings with every system, and every system qualifies for max tax credits. Call the Comfort People at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
And now, Tales of Another Way. You've got your same old playlist, but another song about a breakup is just a downer. 2 minutes in your music app, and now you're groovin', man. Sometimes another way is the better way, like the new SR 509 Expressway, the alternate route that'll help manage congestion on I-5 and other local roads. It's tolling now, and you can save $2 per toll with a Good-to-Go pass. Get a free sticker pass at goodtogo509.com.
Seaport Airlines. Don't let a government shutdown ground your business travel. Seaport Airlines flies TSA free with service between Portland Business Aviation and Seattle's Boeing Field. No delays, no stress. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
Craving something different after dark? Bellevue Adventures brings you night climbs every Thursday at 6 and 7 p.m., where adventure meets atmosphere. Our aerial park glows with string lights, guiding you through a thrilling nighttime experience. Just you, nature, and the night. No distractions, only discovery. Perfect for team building, families, solo adventure, even a date night. Book now at bellevue-adventures.com and light up your next adventure.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Heward here for my friends at PCF Construction. You know, it was a couple years ago. We were seeking a complete outdoor living space. Molly wanted a new deck. She wanted to really make our outdoor space pop. And boy, am I glad we called PCF. Why? Because whether it's a very specific project or outdoor living, like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you completely covered. You know, Molly's an interior designer. She knows construction. She knows attention to detail. And PCF, they checked every single box along the way. And right now is the time to make the call. Up to $6,000 off your project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. And you can save an extra $1,500 when you bundle your deck with a patio cover. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or simply call today at 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, PCFgroup.com.
Hey, it's Tim Hunter, former Seattle radio goofball here with 2 words that aren't funny. Prostate cancer. Get your annual checkup. Keep an eye on that PSA number. And if you hear those 2 words like I did, talk to the folks at Swedish Cyberknife. 5 treatments, minimally invasive and technologically advanced over the other options. If you were a friend, and I consider you one, I'd highly recommend Swedish Cyberknife. We are so lucky to have them right here in town. Do your research, but definitely visit swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
Dave Wyman here, and we've been fortunate to hear from 2 Swedish Cyberknife patients this year, Andy Ryder and Tim Hunter. Both heard about Cyberknife from our radio ads and completed successful treatment, raving about their experiences. Tim was impressed that treatment only took 5 days. Andy hosted a large international delegation the week after his treatment. If you, a friend, or a family member is diagnosed with prostate cancer, consider treatment with Swedish Cyberknife here in Seattle. Go to swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Yeah, nice day of travel for the Mariners. I think they actually left after the game on Sunday night. They get yesterday to acclimate, and then today, Brock, it should be Game 3. We're going to find out, play some weather report coming up in a bit. I don't know what's going to happen, and we'll talk to Shannon, boots on the ground at 9 o'clock, but it is kind of wet there today, so I don't think they will. I don't know if they'll start on time. After that, who the heck knows what's going to happen. Josh Naylor was not there for the workouts yesterday. They asked Dan Wilson where he was.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a personal day for him, so he'll be back, and we're looking forward to it.
Don't know when. Maybe that's today. Maybe it's tomorrow. Of course, reports are that his wife was due to give birth sometime over the weekend. Maybe they were able to do that yesterday. Don't know. Don't know about any health or complications or any of it. So
old Danny covers for his guys, doesn't he?
He does.
Like that is, talk about the thing you've learned all season long, and maybe frustrating times for others or those maybe trying to cover him, but he's not going to give you anything. He's going to protect his players kind of at all cost. And not that there's a huge cost there, but yeah, they're not going to add any further noise to this. Right? Just going to protect my guys, have their back at all times.
Personal day for him.
And as far as the wet and the weather, man, if there's a team prepared for that, don't you think it's the Mariners? I mean, they've had to deal with this crap for like their
Except
last
they haven't
3
dealt with
road
it
trips.
well. It's been the one
they've
thing.
had to deal with it, Salk. They've had to deal with it.
Yeah, it's the one challenge they've had this year is when they've gotten delayed or any of that, it's been a bit of a challenge for them.
Actually,
so far
they
this
don't
year.
deal with it that
Right.
much. You know why? Because they have a roof on their stadium. Build a roof, Detroit.
Yeah, right. Lyle was riled up earlier, Brock, because somebody said that the Tigers should forfeit. Like, if you can't play, then forfeit. That's your problem.
Build a roof on your ballpark.
Build a freaking roof. Otherwise, forget it. Logan Gilbert scheduled to pitch today against Jack Flaherty.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Mike Macdonald was great when he joined us yesterday, Brock, and he was pretty clear that he was mad at his defense for not tackling well enough.
Our tackling right now is not our standard. It's not good enough, and we work it every day. We work every meeting, and something is not getting that. It's not. The dots are not getting connected right now. So that's something that we're evaluating as we speak, and we have to address it because it must be better. There's way too many hidden yardage out there where it's putting us in more defensive positions, and guys are getting leaky yards on us. So it's it needs to improve.
Yeah, and he followed up. I liked your question, Salk, and I learned this about a decade ago in Utah. Kyle Whittingham, his people, really being, I think, on the front edge of it, at least collegiately, of like, why do we have D linemen doing the same tackling circuit as we do strong safeties? They play very different games. And he went into great detail of the angles and the leverage and how it is different for all those guys. But your corners largely tackled terrible. Your couple of your linebackers tackled terrible. Those leaky yards were way too much. Getting off the field on a couple third down situations, if you just wrap and run your feet and they just dive into guys and falling all over themselves or not sticking their face in there, Nehemiah Pritchett. So, yeah, that will be a point of emphasis, I would think, this week before you go to a very physical Jacksonville team.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
All right, elsewhere, Phillies, man. That was I know the Dodgers are really good. I was not expecting them to go into Philly and just dominate a couple of games like that. Dodgers are good. The bullpen is iffy, but the Phillies are good, and their pitching is great, and their lineup is great. I mean, I know anything can happen in a short series in baseball, but I am still a little surprised that LA was able to take it to them like that. And yes, Lyle, I am a little surprised they decided to bunt in that situation with who they had on base. It's a mess. It totally did not work. And again, poor execution was part of it. That's a bit like, you don't know what would have happened if the guy had executed the bunt the way he's supposed to, and the guy on second had reached third base. Maybe they do end up tying that game. But
don't you think their belief there in that moment, and it's the right belief, is just tie this game up? Just get the runner to third where you don't need a hit. Their bullpen, our bullpen at home, just extend this game.
No. Play for the tie. That's loser talk. Win.
There is something to playing for the tie at home.
But you had your worst athlete on the base paths. Nick Castellanos can't field. He doesn't run.
No, that's true. That part is true.
And by the way, the bunt itself wasn't even that bad. But you have the slowest guy on the base paths who got thrown out at third because he shouldn't be out there.
That's a pretty good argument.
Like,
But that's different from not bunting.
A hit ties the game there, too.
It's true. Who was up?
That was Bryson Stott. So it was the 9-hitter, but...
There is something to bunting the 9-hitter to turn it back over. And who hits first for them?
Yeah, it's Schwarber.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can write a pretty...
But why is Nick Castellanos running the bases?
That I don't know. That you'd have to take up with the Philadelphia. I'm sure the Philadelphia press will be very calm and reasonable.
Oh, did you see
about
their
it all.
post-game show screaming about this?
No, they should be.
Oh,
It's just
oh,
dumb.
I'll send you the video. It was great.
I bet they were. Milwaukee is just destroying everything in their path. They beat Chicago again yesterday. Jackson Chirios is on fire. And the Monday night game was bizarre with Jacksonville. Oh, my gosh. They come back to beat the Chiefs with one of the stranger plays you'll ever see. That's everything you need to know. I said, watching that game, I am not impressed with Trevor Lawrence. I know he's skilled, but he did like 3 or 4 outrageously dumb things in that game. The one where he took the delay of game and just had no idea what the clock said.
That's pretty bad.
Like, that was horrendous. He like looked up shocked that the delay of game went. That was. I'll
tell you what, man. Liam Cohen's pretty good.
Is he?
Yeah, he's pretty good. What he did in Tampa, what he did at Kentucky. You look at where he has been. Like, when he's been there, you've gotten the best play out of their guys. So this will be, I think, Trevor Lawrence's maybe last best shot in Jacksonville. He'll get other shots elsewhere, but he's been through a lot of them and a lot of different voices. And they're good, man. They are physical. They got some young talent. They got some run and hit guys. I'll be honest, I was rooting for them to win. I kind of want him to have to deal with prosperity on a short week and 4-1 and everybody talking about him.
Yep.
And here comes a banged-up Seahawks team that doesn't do anything well defensively, fly across the country, play down there in Jacksonville. Like, to me, that set up from a Seahawks perspective worked well.
A couple of texts. Salk is great. So much influence that years ago he mentioned wicking water off himself before using a towel and get out of the shower, and I still do it, and I've done it ever since. Glad to have helped.
What do you do?
I told you when you turn off the shower before you get a towel, you wick off the water. You shuck it off. You just get as much of it off so that all that water doesn't end up like either too much on the towel or all over the bathroom floor. It's just common courtesy.
Sure.
It's just a courtesy, especially if you have a tremendous amount of hair all over your body. It's just kind of a nice thing to do. I do what I can. And then another side of this, if you apply Salk's judgment that the worth is based on the last 2 minutes, Seattle's D is 0-4. They have given up the lead or the tie 4 times. That's not the Salk judgment. That is just no. Do you watch the NFL? That is spoken like somebody who's never watched an NFL game. You know what happens at the NFL games at the end? Quarterbacks go up and down the field. Happens all the time. Doesn't even seem to matter how good the defense is. How good your defense is gets thrown entirely out the window in the last few minutes of a game as quarterbacks just go up and down the field. Why they can't do it all game, I have no idea. But in the last couple of minutes, the defense means nothing. And the quarterbacks just go up and down the field, and whichever one gets it right wins the game. That's it. That's the NFL. The defense matters in the first 58, maybe 59 minutes. Last couple minutes, doesn't matter who's on your defense. It's just whether or not the quarterback can get it done. And unfortunately, you get 2 out of 3 that didn't go the way you want. We'll be right back. Got a lot more to do today, Brock. We're going to give you the weather straight from Detroit. Next, I'm Brock and Salk.
After a split of the first 2 at T-Mobile.
Blasted left field. He's done it again. Jorge Polanco.
It's Trident's up for Game 3 in Detroit.
I know they're not going to like us over there.
The Mariners look to pull ahead in the best-of-5 division series today. First pitch at 1:08. Extended pregame coverage starting at 10 a.m. And there's only one place you can hear the American League West champion Mariners in the playoffs. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
All right, guys, as it's going to start getting a little colder here as we start getting farther into October, I want to make sure your attic, your crawl space are 100% ready for what is to come. Maybe that means water. Maybe it means you don't have enough insulation. And as the weather gets cold, that means not only are you cold in your house, but it also means you're bleeding money and energy cost. It's why you call Crawl Pros. You get them to come out, do that free corner-to-corner inspection, just like they did at my house. And then if you got a problem with insulation, guess what? PSC customers, and your home was built before 1990, you could qualify to receive a rebate on up to 95% of the cost. to properly insulate your crawl space and attic. Yeah, 95%. But you got to do this now because a lot of the rebates end at the end of the year, including some federal incentives. So let Crawl Pros come out and get your home properly insulated before any cooler fall weather really shows up. If you're worried about critters, mold, water damage, insulation, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic, call Crawl Pros or visit crawlpros.com.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service. 98 years providing logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linens, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. Visit suplinen.com.
In today's competitive world, standing out isn't optional anymore. I'm Rusty George, and my agency helps builders, manufacturers, and material suppliers get louder and get noticed in order to bring in new customers. From effective brand strategies to websites and marketing campaigns that drive business, Rusty George is for builders just like you. No fluff, just results. You can build the future. We'll help you build your new business pipeline. Visit rustygeorge.com today. rustygeorge.com.
At Cressy Door, we have the perfect garage door for you. Come visit our brand new garage door and fireplace showroom and let our experts help you find the perfect garage door. Cressy Door.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks Monday Night Football game October 20th. Head to the Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the Seattle Sports app, the better your odds. Do it every day, October 7th through October 13th. Details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Touchdown, Seahawks! Ken Walker III. Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better. Better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these 3 books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at proscope.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's proscope.com.
This hour is brought to you by Trajan Wealth Management.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
No, I have not tried shaking like a dog inside my shower. How dare you, 425? That's ridiculous. And no, I don't wring out my body fur by twisting and squeezing each little bit like it's a rag. No, obviously not. Or maybe a little, but I do like to sort of shuck all the water off. I think it's a good thing before you get out of the shower. Brock, speaking of lots of water all over everything, that's the situation in Detroit today as it's very wet. We'll talk to Shannon, boots on the ground here in about a half hour. But here is WXYZ Detroit weatherman Mike Taylor.
Tigers homestand forecast. What does the rain mean for the game at Comerica Park? What I will say is that today looks good based on the timing. The timing is in our favor, and that's because it's going to be on the verge of moving out. First pitch will be at 4:08. The bulk of this rain is going to occur later this morning around lunchtime, and then after that, it'll slowly taper off as it drifts out to the east.
That sounds like good news, Brock.
That is good news.
WXYZ.
That is real good news. Was it Detroit? There was a game this year that was delayed, and it was Detroit. And at the time it was delayed, it's like, what are we doing here? It was sunny, right? It was blue sky, and they were like, no, we're going to go in. And because they knew exactly what was going to, the heavens were going to open up and unleash fury onto that field. And then they had to sit around and wait until that, all got through. Do you remember that?
I
remember Shannon and Adam and or Divish at that time, like, interesting. Maybe they know what we don't know. Yeah. WXYZ knows what they didn't know then.
When in doubt, trust WXYZ. They are the only voice that matters when it comes to Detroit weather.
So the field's going to be wet, though, right? I mean, they obviously tarp the infield and do all that, but this does mean that
they just wring it out, Brock. You just wring it out.
you?
You just shuck off the water and throw a couple towels out there, and you should be good to go. Yeah, it could be a little wet in the outfield, and I don't know. I don't know which team that necessarily benefits. Mariners pretty athletic in the outfield, right? I mean, so I don't know that it takes away their athleticism necessarily. Infield should be fine. I don't know. I'm not that worried about any major effect on the game. You do know that the ball will skip a little bit, but these guys have all played in that stuff. They know. They know how to handle it. So that's what we know right now. So looks like we could get a first pitch as we expected at 1:08. Maybe it gets delayed a little bit, but it doesn't seem to be that much risk that the game gets canceled. It seems like it would be much more likely that it just gets delayed, if at all. Again, we'll check in with Shannon coming up here in about a half hour. We've also got a late version of Blue 88 in 10 minutes because we already talked to Jeff Passan. If you missed that, go find it on YouTube, on the Seattle Sports YouTube page. Great way to find the Passan interview a little bit later today or on our podcast page. And then Daniel Jeremiah will join us today at 9:30. So we'll get back to some football conversation there. The setup with Jeff, Brock, was all about that middle inning, right? And sort of what we're seeing. And it was not... I know that there's some folks, because it's the debate continues to rage over the game one usage of George Kirby. No, it's not over. I mean,
I don't think it is.
I heard Ryan Rowland Smith and even John Morosi kind of giving the other side of it, which I strongly disagree with. But okay, like everyone gets their opinion on how to handle these things. I think that opinion goes very much against all of the numbers and evidence that we have. But people have different opinions. That's what's fun about sports. And they're not the only two people that have it. I do think that the game is funny how it's shaping up that way, though. Innings, it feels like right now in the postseason, innings 1 through 4 are about the players, the starting pitcher versus the batters. Innings roughly 6 through 9 and above are about the players, the ridiculous relievers throwing gas and everything else, and whether or not the hitters can handle them. And that 1 or 2 innings in the middle, 4th, 5th, 6th, but really primarily the 5th, is about the managers making a decision on when and whether or not their pitcher is good enough, strong enough to handle a third time through the order in that day. And that's that's the ball game. Those are the 3 things. Players get the first few innings, manager gets the middle inning, players get the last few innings, and that's how these games are decided.
Kind of feels that way. It's a little bit like you're talking about the end of game in these NFL games. And obviously what does happen and what does transpire through the first 50-some minutes does have an impact at the end. But I understand kind of what your eyes see and you know, what you feel through lots of that.
Mm-hmm.
The numbers would tell you, Salk, no pitcher should ever, you know, unless you're Crochet or Scooble, should ever pitch the third time through.
In the
Right, if you're going to go just solely based on numbers, there is a deterioration of every one of these Mariners starters. So why would you throw any of them a third time through? Well, that is then the judgment of going to Ferguson and Spire.
Well, you saw that a few years ago, right, with Arizona. They literally didn't let anyone, no matter what, didn't matter who it was, what they were doing, you did not get a third time through in the order. Didn't happen, right, in the postseason. And it was even
that's what the numbers tell you. If you're going to go solely by the numbers, that's what the numbers would tell you, that you deteriorate. And in the OPS and all of it, you just, why do that? Well, ultimately then you make the judgment and decision. Is Logan Gilbert going to be the better third time through than such and such? How is the rest of the game going to unfold? How can we be predictive of where this is going to go? Extra innings is now different. You don't have a ghost runner at second.
And those things change according to where you're at in the series and what you've seen already and what the matchups are going to be. I think, again, not to make this just about game one, because that's not the point here. In that game, all of those other things also kind of pointed to taking the pitcher out, where your bullpen was 100% fresh, and you know the matchup specifically with Carpenter went against you. But no, I think you're right in general, and that will be the question today and tomorrow, and maybe in Game 5 on Friday if it exists. You know, when
you know who can change that, Salk? You know who has the biggest opportunity to change that whole paradigm is one Logan Walter Gilbert.
Because
he doesn't have to get to the fourth inning and go through the third time around. He can be absolutely nails like Crochet. He can be nails like Scooble. He can be nails like those guys. And all of a sudden, the third time through the lineup isn't happening until the seventh inning, you know, or the middle of the sixth inning. Like, it doesn't have to be the fourth or the fifth. Be efficient with your pitching. Mow these guys down. Have that inside fastball command and have that splitter working, which he can at times have it working. And all of a sudden, man, you dominate this game.
It is interesting how, you know, one thing that has changed in baseball over the last, I don't even know what the right amount of years to give this is. It's less than 20. It's somewhere between 5 and maybe 15. Somewhere in the last 5 to 15 years, the game changed because relievers got so much better.
Yeah.
I mean, the game of baseball used to be pretty simple. Not simple, but get your starter out as fast as possible and then go pick on the weak-minded relievers who were barely able to pitch in baseball. There weren't enough of them.
Who were failed starters. They were all failed starters.
They were failed starters. They were mentally weak. And outside of the closer and maybe one or two other guys on a staff, the other guys were bums that you had an opportunity that were really no different from what was floating around AAA because the supply was not high enough of relievers. And so in those days, all you wanted to do was get the starter out of the game as soon as possible offensively so that you could go pick on these pathetic relievers, these poor guys who shouldn't even be in the game.
Those are some of our friends.
Oh, they were so sad. Sad group of people.
Stop.
But now, I mean, if you're looking at baseball, certainly in the postseason, through those optics, you're dated. It's not true anymore. Regular season, maybe. As you're trying to keep everybody fresh, and there's just a totally different mentality on how to get through a regular season. But in the postseason, teams have somewhere between 3 and 5, sometimes more relievers that they trust, that are nasty, that have stuff for 1 or 2 innings that is better than what the starting pitcher has his third time through the lineup.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the reality of watching these guys coming in, blazing 100 and 104 miles an hour. And then when you start adding in some of the extra starters like Mizorowski, who's throwing 104 plus, it's a different game. And I do think it does change a lot of the thought process behind how you handle those middle innings, because what's waiting for you in the pen is really, really good and a lot better than it used to be.
Yep. Nope, I think all of that is fair. And of all the numbers revolution and all the on base and all of Moneyball, I think you're right. I think where you started to see teams go, wonder if we can change this just a little bit and change this paradigm and not be the weak link, but actually be some of the strength and how that impacts decisions throughout. So let me go back to, once again, to the guy that I think has the biggest opportunity today.
Okay.
And that is Logan Gilbert. He has had one postseason start. That was the 2022 ALDS start on October 11th down in Houston. End up losing that game. I think we all remember how they ultimately lost that game. What was Logan's pitching line that day? He's got to be better than this today. It wasn't terrible, but he's got to be better than this today. It was 5 in the third innings. It was 3 earned runs. It was 5 hits. It was 2 walks, and it was 5 strikeouts. I want more from Logan today. I want Logan Gilbert and his buddy behind home plate, his best buddy who loves catching for him, who challenges him, who demands a lot of him, holds him accountable. I want Logan Gilbert's mindset today to be, I'm going 7. I'm going to shove, and I'm going to go 7 innings today, and Mr. Brash and Mr. Mooney are going to close this thing out, or maybe 6 2/3, and Spire comes in and nails down one of the lefties. Like in my mind, I'm not going 5.
Well, and that's why the splitter is the pitch for him today, right? Trying to see if you can get it to run away from lefties. Yeah, Logan has been forced to watch here for a little while everybody else got to go out and play.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun the last couple of days, especially getting to see that in Seattle and knowing the fans have been waiting for that and going crazy, and both games super exciting too. So there's been a lot of momentum both ways, but happy we won the last one and expecting a fun time tomorrow.
A fun time.
A fun time. A fun time.
For you.
And for your thoughts, Brock, on getting deeper into that game and being efficient with his pitches, he was asked about getting a lot more foul balls.
No, not really. I haven't thought about it. I didn't know I get more foul balls than other people. I don't know. I know the strikeouts were higher, so that's good. But yeah, there's only so much you can control, so I don't really know why.
That's a good answer there. Yeah, I don't know. How's that?
I get more foul balls. I didn't know I got more foul balls.
Yeah, I'm worried about the exact process of how I throw a ball and, the hours I spend with my weird contraptions getting my delivery exactly the way I want it and the strength of my arm the way I want it, which is right. That's what he should be worried about. And then the shape of the pitch will end up being what it is.
Well, today's going to be interesting because Logan's had his own problems third time through the lineup this year, too. And how they manage that will be very, very interesting to watch. I will say, if Kerry Carpenter comes up again, put him on.
Fifth.
Put him on first base. That, like, if you were going to leave Kirby in that game in game 1, that's what you should have done because there was an open base. There was an open base with 2 outs. You could have at least intentionally walked him. So if that happens today and you want to let Logan have some length, what?
Yep. Is it easy? Is it easier to criticize or give credit? Like if it goes well and if he manages great, can you be as vocally and emotionally passionate on the positive end of things, or do we have to just still hang on?
Like, were you as vocally in supportive of what happened in game 2?
He managed really well in game 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. If he manages well today.
Can you yell that, though, the same way you yelled about game 1?
That's right.
Or are you just not capable because you lost your voice?
The voice.
Okay, so if you had your voice and if it was at 100%, would you be able to give the same impassioned defense of what Dan did in game 2 as your frustration with game 1?
I mean, I have the ability to do it, yeah.
That's nice to hear. I think it is important that they did it very differently. If no other reason, then it shows that they kind of viewed it the same way. Like, yeah, we didn't do this right yesterday. Let's get it right the next day. We learn from our mistake and get it right. And hopefully the fact that, you still have an opportunity to win the series, if that's the lesson learned and they carry it throughout the postseason, great. Learn from a mistake and move on and get them right moving forward. And you're right. Today will be another that is going to come up again today, Brock. It's going to come up again today and somewhere around the 5th inning.
And you know what came up in the first game, by the way? It just goes without saying because he also pitched Mooney for 2 innings that game. Like, he also gave his team every opportunity offensively to deliver and make that happen. And the moves later in that game, unfortunately, he had to go to Vargas at the very end of it. And I think we all knew, sadly, what was going to happen. But he did have to make decisions after that. They did. It's not just ever one guy. They collectively did and gave themselves a bunch of bites at it. And just unfortunately, game 1 didn't go their way. Game 2 did, and game 3 will today in Detroit.
3 hours before first pitch.
Oh my gosh,
Lyle.
Lyle.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88, powered by Xfinity.
We're going to go red, right, tight, close, sprint left, G, U corner, halfback, flat, on one. Ready?
Brock Heward tackles 3 football questions as only he can.
Blue 88.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
So, 3 good football questions for Brock. We do this every day.
So
Normally
what?
it's 7:45.
So what?
Today at 8:45. I'm debating whether or not, because Brock, as you know, writes the questions for himself for these. It's his prep for the day. And so, well,
like
it's a big part of his prep. I don't mean it's your only thing. I'm not trying to take a shot. I'm not. I don't mean it's your only
I've been
prep.
curious about this first one.
Yeah. Should I change it for you, Brock, and correct your typo?
I don't know if I have my Ebenezer's on.
Or should I just read it as written?
No, you probably should correct my typo.
Let's read it as written. Per usual, how are the Pro Football Focus grades and my wife set eyes on the exact same page?
My wife said eyes.
Wide set eyes.
Molly's eyes.
The DNF are next to each other on the keyboard. Yeah. Why were your wide set eyes and Pro Football Focus on the same page?
So
and what does your wife think about all that?
Yeah, who did I say had the best game of his Seahawk career? Then I was number one in my takeaways yesterday. How about that?
Derek.
Highest grade on the team, a 91.0 PFF grade. That is so stinking cool. You know this. I love redemption stories. I love grit. I love you've been, right there on the fringe of this roster, and yet you get your opportunity and you absolutely make the most of it. Who was number 2 when it came to PFF's offensive grades? Not surprising. Somebody else we highlighted and you asked Coach about, A.J. Bartner. Dude's a freaking stud, right? Whatever happened in 4 or 5 years of some of these draft classes versus the last 2 or 3 years, and I don't know. I don't know if it was some Pete's voice. I don't know if there was complacency. I don't know if there was too much risk. I don't know what it was. But there were some leaner years with draft production. These last 2-3 drafts have been amazing. And A.J. Bartner in the 4th round looking like an absolute difference-making tight end in this league. And that number spoke to it. So that's offensively. Not so good defensively.
No.
Not so good. Highest graded defensive player was Byron Murphy. And you did feel him a bunch. He was disruptive. Tampa didn't run for anything. Didn't have to. I mean, it was pretty easy for him through the air. And then, yes, Darian Kendrick, bad. Pritchett, terrible. And actually, Ernest Jones, a 28.2. As much praise as we gave Ernest for those 3 or 4 weeks.
I don't like that.
PFF guys did not like that effort, and I don't think Coach liked the tackling of anybody at that 2nd and 3rd level yesterday.
All right, question number 2. Well, we talked about poor tackling quite a bit with Coach Macdonald yesterday, primarily because when you asked him about it, he was not happy with what he saw. What does that tell you, Brock?
Yeah, it tells me, well, as I said to you earlier, and I need to know, it feels more personal.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know what? You don't execute. You strike out. You drop a pass. You line up wrong. Whatever. There's some of those things. But tackling is want to. Tackling is effort. It's crazy, Salk. And I haven't said anything to our head coach, but every Monday and Tuesday, we go live. Live. Last night, we're in week 7 of the season, and we are like full on that Red Zone live. All right, 3rd down live. Live? Not FUD? Live. Like every Monday and Tuesday during the whole football season. And I know where that's bred from for him, for where it comes from. It's Jim Harbaugh. It's his years at Stanford with Harbaugh. Like, if we're going to do this and we're going to be a bully and we're going to be a tough team, guess what we got to do? We got to hit. And listening to Mike yesterday, you can't go live in the NFL. You can't hardly put pads on. But what frustrates him and why it's personal is, hey, man, this is who we are. This is the essence of what we are. And on top of it, all of the methodologies we use. You don't even have to play the sound. I'll just keep talking through it.
No, I'll play the sound. I think it's pretty good. I mean, he was very clear. That's not an excuse.
I think it should be an edge for us. We should be a great tackling team. We practice, we train. I know what we're teaching is sound and stands the test of time with football. And we invest in this thing, and we're not translating it to the field. And that's what's extremely frustrating. And so we have to start making changes on why and figuring out why it's not coming to life. Because it's not an excuse because of the tempos. It's not an excuse because you can't be in pads. You can train tackling every day, but how you take angles to the ball, how you finish on dump. I mean, there's so many different methods to figure this out. If you feel like that it's an excuse, then that's lazy coaching. That's taking the easy way out.
I freaking love that.
Yeah.
I think you did too.
I loved his whole interview yesterday.
Yes.
I think it was the best. It's my most enjoyable Mike Macdonald interview. I thought he was great. I thought he really took accountability, but also explained what it is that he was frustrated by and how he hoped to fix it without giving us every detail that he can't give us. I thought that was really, really great. And it's a good lead into, I'm going to change up question 3.
Great.
Why was this the best thing Mike Macdonald said yesterday?
Yeah, you nailed it. That's it. That's it. When you fall short of where you feel like you are, and that's it's tough, you know. So you got to be honest. Like, I think part of our message today is like we got to be honest with each other and evaluating of how we're doing things and who's doing what and what we're doing, all those things. But you're absolutely right. I think that's kind of the the juxtaposition there where you are optimistic because I think we got great guys and we got great players and we got great coaches, and frustrating that we didn't see the product on yesterday afternoon.
And your setup to that was, hey, you're still optimistic but frustrated, and you kind of
even more so. It was, are you so frustrated because you're so optimistic?
Yes, because you've shown all these things. You've shown that Leonard Williams could be one of the best players in the league. Sam Darnold's shown he could be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. You have shown that you can be dynamic. You have shown that JSN could be one of the best receivers in this. Like, there are some tremendous optimistic arrow pointing up with a lot of things, but then there is that level of detail. You know what else I hear actually listening to both those answers on tackling, and what I think players appreciate too? Mike's not bemoaning the players. Mike's not pointing fingers at the players. He's really pointing fingers at himself and his staff. And I think there's probably hard conversations with a secondary coach, right? Like, just realistically, why are we not doing this? Or the linebackers, the way they tackled, and it's not hard. Like, I'm blaming you. It's what do we have to do to get these guys to respond, because we're not getting it consistently enough, and especially on the tackling end of it at second and third level.
All right, cool. There you go. That is today's Blue 88. Thank you, Brock. We normally do that at 7:45, but with everything moving around today, you got to be flexible, and we're doing
Heward,
the best we can.
Why are your tight ends not trade blocking?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Hey, Heward, why are they not getting their face outside? Right? Why are they not striking with their hands at the breastplate? Why are they not doing this, Heward? Yeah, I know what these conversations
You know what that's like.
It's great.
All right. Well, good to hear that you're working on fixing all of that, Brock. Let me remind everybody that the Mariners are on the road, of course, today and tomorrow. But if you like the community element of watching the game together, go to T-Mobile Park. You can watch Game 3 today and Game 4 tomorrow on the biggest and best screen in Seattle. General admission tickets are $15. Season ticket members can access discounted tickets for $10. They're available at mariners.com/watch party. So that's a good way to go watch the game today with other people. If you aren't able to go do that, you aren't able to get to a TV, guess what you can do? Listen to it right here on Seattle Sports on 710 or on the Seattle Sports app. I can tell you where Shannon Drayer is going to be watching it, from the press box in Detroit. Boots on the ground. What's the weather like? Where's Josh Naylor? More with Shannon next on Brock and Salk.
3 hours before first pitch of every Mariners playoff game, it's the Mariners Pennant Push, featuring former Mariners pitcher Charlie Furbush.
It's game changers, the crowd here.
And MLB Network insider John Morosi.
Cal Raleigh to be the MVP, it would look exactly like it looks.
Today at 10 a.m. Then it's Game 3 of the American League Division Series. First pitch at 1:08, where you hear the American League West champion Mariners in the postseason. Seattle Sports.
With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafee from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonihan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Are you road trip ready? Bucky's Complete Auto Repair will make your car safe and dependable with expert service and old-fashioned care. Brakes, oil change, factory service, and more. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Bucky's.com.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
It's beautiful outside. I'm trying to take advantage of this weather and get out on the motorcycle as often as I can while the weather is here. And I've heard from a lot of you the same exact thing. I've also heard from you guys about injuries you've sustained in a motorcycle accident. And if you're somebody that's been injured in a motorcycle crash, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. Look, every rider has a story, and for some, it takes an unexpected turn. But you don't have to face it alone. With the Law Tigers, they make sure you get what you deserve when you need it. And in Washington, every motorcycle ride writes its own chapter, from the coastal twists of Highway 101 to the rugged beauty of Stevens Pass. And when the unexpected happens, Law Tigers are ready to ride with you. So again, if you've been hurt in a motorcycle crash, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. They are not just attorneys. They are actual riders who know the road and the risks. Whether you're carving through the Cascade Loop or exploring the scenic routes of Mount St. Helens, Law Tigers are the motorcycle lawyers of Washington. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. The Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Cook Law Office, PLLC, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Hey Seattle, Jaden Schwartz for Techline Roofing. Call Techline Roofing and trust the team I trust. With the strongest warranty in the business, Techline Roofing has you covered. That's TEKLINE roofing.com. Trust Techline.
Baseball's postseason is here. Seattle Sports Playoff coverage is presented by Honey Bucket, 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right, final hour here of our morning, all leading up to Mariners. Jeez, Brock. I know I'm the worst. I'm reading a text here about
Percy
the Seahawks.
Be right.
I'm reading a text and
the great
stupid.
Percy Allen, a week into the Brock and Salk show.
A week?
Said this guy from Boston.
A week?
Yeah, I don't know about him. He's got to figure out the Seahawks and the Mariners.
A day. That was nice. Appreciated that. That was one day. Yeah, might not work here. We'll find out.
Brock said he's going to run a family-friendly radio show.
But thanks for bringing it up again, Brock. That's nice of
You're
you.
welcome.
Please get me in more trouble with people out there. All leading up to Mariners Game 3. First pitch should be just after 1 o'clock, but we are waiting on what the weather looks like. That's why we're going to go to Detroit and talk to Shannon Drayer. Do we have Shannon? Where are we at? Do we have Shannon? Do we have Shannon? No, we don't have Shannon. I'm sorry. We're going to have Shannon in a moment. We're efforting Shannon, Brock.
So they're working tie lines. They're trying to find tie lines.
Yes.
All right. When you get a monsoon like that in Detroit, you never know.
Okay.
It can affect those lines.
Yes.
Of communication.
All right. Well, so we're dealing with the potential monsoon.
I just asked Lyle, and you know what? We should probably answer this question ourselves. Your confidence factor today. When you sit on your couch or you lay on your couch in your basement at 1 o'clock
I think the
today,
series is over. They're going to win both games.
Both games?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. I don't even think there's a Game 5.
Okay.
I agree with the text I got from the former major leaguer. Just said they got it now. Like they figured it out. And Brock, it's not even that because I don't know what's going to happen in any individual baseball game. They could lose both of these two games. I don't mean to make a but in terms of confidence, I just think they're the better team. I think they're better pitching staff, better bullpen, better hitters, perfectly good defense. I just think they're better. I don't know what to tell you.
This is probably what
they're
the
just a
Astros
better
felt
team
in 2022 in the American League Division Series. Right? They I think collectively they probably felt at that time our staff, our rotation, our lineup is deeper, we're longer, we're better.
It's just better.
And I think played with a lot of confidence. They swept the Mariners away in competitive games, by the way. And this will probably be competitive. Detroit's a pretty competitive team.
Let's go there, Brock. Let's talk to Shannon. We can continue to chat through this a little bit later. Shannon Drayer, our Mariners insider. Hi, Shannon. Good morning. What is it like in Detroit? Are they going to play today?
Well, we have the same info that you have. It's all,
you have your eyes. You can see what's going on there.
And people get paid a lot more than I do to determine what the weather is going to be. There is a light drizzle right now. The tarp is on the field. And it looks like the heaviest stuff is supposed to come down early in the day, but then there's not a clear percentage that it's not going to come down later in the afternoon. And my feeling in this is they do build in that extra day, and I think that they will try, at all costs to not stop or start and stop a game. And so if they're not able to get it in, I think it's on the table that they could play on Friday, which is, I think, nothing that either team wants to do, but if they have to, they will.
Any of their previous weather experience, and they've been through a lot of it on the road this year, does that play any role, any comfort today?
No, it goes in the opposite direction. They've had trouble when they've had rain delays and when there's been rain, particularly when Logan Gilbert has been on the hill. So my guess is they're keeping him inside and not telling him what's going on right now.
What? That's really funny.
That's not really happening, but that's what I would do.
Logan probably has some sort of weird, cryogenic chamber or something that he gets into so that he can't even hear or tell what's going on out there. What do we know? Where is Josh Naylor? Is he back yet?
I don't have confirmation that he is back. He might be. I will go that far. I do know that the team helped him get to Arizona. And we're gonna have to wait and see, either put eyes on him or get official word.
Okay, but that's important. So as you said, the team helped him get to Arizona. Does that mean some sort of a private jet situation?
That's what I have heard. Yes.
I mean, that would make sense. And by the way, that's absolutely the right thing for them to do. And maybe even more important with a guy like Naylor, impending free agent, who by all accounts they'd like to keep. What a nice, easy way of just reaching out and saying, hey, we got you. Your family's important. We want to do what we can to help. Let's help you get to Arizona and get to the game if that's what works. And then, Shannon, I would imagine, and I don't know whether you know this or not, that a manager like Dan Wilson would say, hey, look, if you can get here at 12:30 before a 1:08 game, we'll throw you in the lineup because, you don't need to be here 3-4 hours ahead.
Yeah, there are two separate things that are going on here. Yes, the game that you have at hand and also the courtship of Naylor, who they've made, no secret they want to bring back. And there's not a ton that they can do right now. You're not going to sit down and have intense conversations with him, but you can make it comfortable. You can show them the advantages of spending some time in Seattle the next few years or whatever it might be. And there's been a lot of that has been happening, and Josh has been receptive to it. He enjoyed things like going to, not just going to the Kraken game on the off day, but having 60 members of the organization there, families being there with him. So, they're doing everything that they can in that regard, and obviously doing anything you can in this situation would go a long, long way, too.
4 hours from scheduled first pitch. When does the lineup come out?
Usually about 3 hours before, 3.5 before, so I would think within the half hour. And that can be changed, so that doesn't mean anything right there. I think Mike is absolutely right, that if he does, this could be a situation where he lands an hour before and gets here 15 minutes before, and if he wants to play, if he wants to start, and if he feels ready to do that, they would put him right in there, and if not, he certainly would be available later in the game.
I was at the game, Shannon and Brock.
We're talking Mirabelli. And,
yes, I was there that day in the press box when the Red Sox, I forget what year it was, 07, 08, traded for Doug. They had let Doug Mirabelli go, and he was the only person that could catch Tim Wakefield's knuckleball. And you know who was, Shannon, who couldn't catch it? Kevin Cash, who's now like maybe the best manager in baseball with the Rays. Kevin Cash just couldn't handle it. Nobody could handle it, so they traded for Mirabelli, and he was going to get there right before the game. They had a police escort get him to the game. It was hilarious. I don't know whether you can call in the Detroit police escort. Maybe this goes the other way. But, hey, whatever you got to do, get him to the ballpark, get him in the game, and let Josh Naylor do his thing.
I think they should be fine. I don't think they have a ton of traffic into the city, especially at that time. No. So I think, yes, and I don't know if Detroit's finest would help out in this particular situation right now. I think that's a hometown advantage.
What is the vibe in Detroit?
We have not been out and about very much. We got in last night, but I can tell you that they did have a rally down here at the park last night. They did a drone show. They are, There are signs that are up. They are very much encouraging the community to get involved in this and going out into the community looking to get them involved. And I can say when we were here earlier this season, it was a great environment in this ballpark. So I can only imagine that they are pretty fired up about where the Tigers are right now.
Shannon, probably the thing, other than Cal and just sort of the celebration of everything he's done this year, probably the most common conversation we've had about the Mariners has been about Julio Rodriguez, not just this year, but for the last 3 or 4. What do you make of what he's done so far in these first 2 games of the postseason?
I think he's been fantastic. I think his at-bats have been as good as any at-bats that we have seen from him all season long. He is not, he's well beyond. I mean, I think it's going to be a thing of the past of us talking about him taking wild swings at pitches way outside the zone and, obviously falling over the box. That has not been him for a while. And I've been, the at-bats in particular, have been very, very impressed with him, what he's swinging at, what he's not swinging at, and also when he's trying to do damage. And when we talked to him 2 days ago, he talked about that, it's a progression. He's getting older. He's learning more. And he said that he now knows much better when to take his shot and when to take his hit. And we've seen both. We saw both in game 1. The shot went over the wall in center field, and the hit was looped into right field to score the go-ahead RBI in that game. And then I asked him, did you know that was going out? I said, no, I did not know that home run was going out. But it's also, that's a big part of him understanding his game and that he can do both. And he's not really trying to be anything that everybody wants him to be. He knows who he is as a hitter, who he believes he should be as a hitter. He's been through, momentous struggles throughout the years. And I think that in that and through that, he has figured a lot of things out. And I think he's very comfortable in this lineup right now, which doesn't hurt at all. I think he likes hitting where he is. He doesn't like being right at the top of the order. And I think the only last piece of his game, and this will come with some time, is he does still make the occasional mistake. You want to see him, as heads up as he can be, inning 1 through 9, and sometimes we do see that, and that's a little bit of the trade-off at where he's at right now. But I have no doubt the way that he has attacked every other aspect in his game, that we will see that be a thing of the past as well. So he's in a very good place confidence-wise, and what he has been able to do for this team, and his teammates love it. I talked to Logan about a week ago, And he talked about how, the turnaround on this team, a lot of it came down to everybody just taking a step back. I think they called it downshifting, which was a Justin Turner term, something that he brought in last year, and just trying to do their job, not trying to do too much. And then he said, but we do have 2 superstars, and that helps as well. They can do more. And he was talking about Cal and Julio, and they both stepped up in this situation.
They got 3, okay? They got Shannon Drayer, too.
That's true.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Have a great day.
Shannon, enjoy Brock.
And go
I
Mariners.
think Brock just dismissed me. Okay.
He basically just told you to get lost, Shannon.
I said you're a star.
He said, go take pictures of that tarp and let us know what's going on.
Don't tell me it's Julio.
You know
and Cal.
that's
There's
on.
3.
You know that's on social media, right?
Obviously, that's
the tarp is always the
special.
star.
All right,
Yes.
Shannon, thank you.
Thanks, Shannon.
Appreciate you. There's Shannon Drayer, our Mariner insider in Detroit, with a lot of question marks about whether this game gets played today, when it gets played, and whether Josh Naylor will be there. But I think that actually sounded pretty encouraging. Possibility that he could be there before the game today, and nice to see the Mariners doing the right thing and trying to help him out with that whole situation. Got to take a quick break. We'll come back with Need to Know, then Daniel Jeremiah to finish the day. I wish we had more hours today. We're limited because we got to turn it over to Bump and Stacy and then the game and everything else. So there you go. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
After a split of the first 2 at T-Mobile,
Blasted left field. He's done it again. Jorge Polanco.
it's Trident's up for Game 3 in Detroit.
I know they're not going to like us over there.
The Mariners look to pull ahead in the best-of-5 division series today. First pitch at 1:08. Extended pregame coverage starting at 10 a.m. And there's only one place you can hear the American League West champion Mariners in the playoffs. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
I love the sun just like everybody else, but I also love fall. The leaves changing, football in the air, playoff baseball. Are you kidding me? It's also a great time to reset your workouts on new stuff. And Top Fitness got some great deals going on right now. Brock Hewitt here, and working out in your own home gym. I've told you guys and gals this for years. It is the best. And from flooring to everything that goes in that home gym, treadmills, ellipticals, strength training systems, Top Fitness, well, they've got it all. They represent the very best brands available, like Washington's very own Precor, the company that created the elliptical, and Inspire Fitness, the leader in strength training machines, along with many others. Here's the deal. You give Top Fitness your room dimensions in a garage, an extra room, and guess what? They'll do the rest, a complete fitness room design. And right now, get 0% interest financing and mention you heard it from me, and they'll give you an additional $100 off any new treadmill or home gym. No secret why everyone from personal trainers to pro athletes love Top Fitness. They got locations down in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now, the company's changed. Or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So, what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Too many breakup songs getting you down? Put a little bossa nova in the playlist. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Get a good-to-go pass to save $2 every time you use it, and on other toll roads in Washington.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Headed outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on seattlesports.com.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I can see clearly now. It's amazing. Let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for Refractive Lens Exchange, or RLE. Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, contacts, readers, or cataracts. So if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the capper. You're never going to develop a cataract. I'm somebody that needed readers in every room of the house. I needed to see the scoreboard out at ball games. I just couldn't see clearly. That has all changed thanks to RLE. Whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to point you in the right direction. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Ooh, that face. Quantum Fiber Internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Gage Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum Fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of the video calls. Back to back to back video calls.
Quantum Fiber Internet blowing the soxies up all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
Cancer impacts so many families, including mine. Former Washington Husky Mario Bailey here. My mother was treated for cancer at UW Medicine. As devastating as cancer is, there is hope because the Cancer Vaccine Institute is developing vaccines to treat and prevent the deadliest cancers. Patients who received vaccines over 20 years ago are still alive today. Please join me and make a donation to the Cancer Vaccine Institute at local Safeway stores. Learn more at uwcvi.org.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
The lineup is out, Brock, for today's Game 3 of the ALDS in Detroit. Here's what it looks like from the Mariner perspective. Leading off in left field, Randy Arozarena. Catching, Cal Raleigh. Hitting third and center field, no surprise, Julio Rodriguez. And they're going to keep it the way they had it the other day as Polanco continues to bat number 4, even with a right-hander, right? Flaherty's a righty. So a little interesting that they would continue to keep Polo up where he is, but he's been hot. Batting 5th, at first base, Josh Naylor.
Let's go.
Josh Naylor at first base, batting 5th. Gino hits 6th, the 3rd. Canzone's the DH. Victor Robles in right. And J.P. Crawford, of course, at short for Logan Gilbert.
Very cool.
Very cool, don't you think?
Very, very cool. Yeah. And more than likely, if the Mariners helped get him to Arizona, they probably helped get him to Detroit. I mean, he's a switch hitter, Polo, so.
Just the way they've had it, it has gone that way with him after. But maybe just due to who's in their bullpen, I'd be curious to know maybe at some point why that switch.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Mike Macdonald was great yesterday. We played you a lot of the sound throughout the morning of him talking through his defense and some of the frustration he's had with the tackling issues they've had. I thought this was pretty interesting, Brock, just to take it to the next level. When asked whether or not they have to change the defensive calls in order to fit the personnel, I thought his answer was pretty informative.
Yeah, you call plays for players. You know, you want guys' abilities to, you want to accentuate guys' strengths and let them and call ask guys to do things that they're really good at. And so when you play with different players, you're calling different. You have to. If you're calling the same stuff, no matter who's on the field, that's not the way to do it. I mean, good or bad, So I know that's our philosophy, and I don't know. Maybe some people say, hey, look, we're just going to run, our 3 things, and no matter who's out there, let's do it. That's one way to doing it. But our philosophy is we're gonna call it for who's out there.
Play to their strengths. There's an old Joel Cladism. So if you listen to enough of Joel's broadcasts, and maybe you can, in some ways, share this tomorrow. So, Joel, I listen to you a lot. I love your games. And you'll hear Joel many times in big moments say, players, not plays. Meaning, get the ball to your best player. And I think what Macdonald's telling you even further is players, not plays, when it comes to setting them up for success in the whole game plan. Right, in the NFL especially, where there's 9 series a game. Like, yeah, just because I want to do this or I feel comfortable with this, the player doesn't, and it puts him in a compromised spot. So if I've got Eamon a rookie, if I've got Pritchett a 4-string corner, if I've got these guys in the game, I got to try to call the game to help them the most, to play to their strengths, minimize their weaknesses, and got to continue to do a good job of that.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
I don't know. Monday night game was crazy last night. Dude,
why didn't the director get off of...
I know.
What if Lawrence would have ate his booger?
Then he deserves whatever's coming to him.
I mean, goodness gracious.
No.
Was it Salk that got caught
Yeah, it was
eating
Salk.
the booger?
It's disgusting. I like even thinking about
He's
it.
picking his nose, and I'm sitting in my living room like, get off the cut.
It wasn't a bad
Get
pick.
off the cut.
To be to credit to him, it was not the worst pick. It was in between a pick and a scratch. He was not like nail deep.
Digging deep.
It was just a little... around the bottom. It wasn't that bad. But, yeah, they got off of it in time.
No, they barely did.
I know. But if he had eaten it, Brock, you deserve what you get. I don't care. Like, no director should save you from that. Pick, all right, save you. But a pick and eat, just you were out there for the world to see.
Do you have anybody's growing up that ate their boogers?
No, it honestly makes me want to vomit. When I hear that, I'm like sitting here right now holding in vomit. That is everything you need to know, I guess, and some more on Brock and Salk. We do a 1/4 every hour, or at least thereabouts. Sorry, we're a little late with Shannon and the news, and great to see that Naylor's going to be in there today. I think that's awesome, and we'll see whether they get to play. We're still kind of waiting on the rain, but what a cool thing to have hit for him to have kind of rushed there. Hope that everything is good with the baby. Hope that she had the baby, and just what a... I don't know, hopefully it ends up being a really special week here for the Naylor family. All right, let's take a quick break. Daniel Jeremiah is going to join us next. We'll wrap up with a little football talk, and if anything else comes out regarding the game, we'll let you know. A little bit. Right? I mean, his team's in it, right? Oh, maybe not. That's next. I'm Brock and Salk.
After a split of the first 2 at T-Mobile.
Blasted left field. He's done it again. Jorge Polanco.
It's Trident's up for Game 3 in Detroit.
I know they're not going to like us over there.
The Mariners look to pull ahead in the best-of-5 division series today. First pitch at 1:08. Extended pregame coverage starting at 10 a.m. And there's only one place you can hear the American League West champion Mariners in the playoffs. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
All right, there's so much going on in sports right now. If you're looking for the best spot to watch all of it, well, how about Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel? And specifically, the new sports bar is just out of this world. It's a whole indoor-outdoor deal, so you take advantage of the great weather we've been having in October. You can look at the great view while sitting indoors or outdoors. I think it's 66 televisions, and of course, you can do everything that comes with watching the game at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Yeah, there's an expanded non-smoking gaming floor. It really is just an awesome spot. It's even a pool downstairs if you decide you want to stay the night. Go to snocasino.com for more. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
In today's competitive world, standing out isn't optional anymore. I'm Rusty George, and my agency helps builders, manufacturers, and material suppliers get louder and get noticed in order to bring in new customers. From effective brand strategies to websites and marketing campaigns that drive business, Rusty George is for builders just like you. No fluff, just results. You can build the future. We'll help you build your new business pipeline. Visit rustygeorge.com today. rustygeorge.com.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service will help your company with logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linen, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do. Visit suplinen.com.
At O'Neill Plumbing, we've been exclusively plumbers for over 100 years. No corny mascots, no out-of-town owners. Just clean, fast, and professional plumbers out to your home fast. All rooter and all trenchless. O'Neill Plumbing.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
The playoffs are here, and Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are bringing the heat with a rotation that's built to win. The Gas RAV4, built for every inning of Northwest life. Or go versatile with the hybrid RAV4. The Tacoma, tough, dependable, and always clutch. And now, stepping up, the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra. Redesigned, powerful, and built for big moments. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. Visit ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com and get your championship ride.
The home of your American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Your time is money, so why are you wasting it stuck in I-5 gridlock, TSA slowdowns, and SeaTac crowds? Isn't it time to travel smarter? Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Park for free next to our terminals. Check in 20 minutes before your departure. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
At Washington Energy Services, we take the time to get to know you and your home. We have the passion and commitment to see each project through and to treat our work as more than just a job. For over 65 years, we've offered award-winning home services, from heating and cooling, plumbing and electrical, to windows and doors. Complete home improvement handled from start to comfort. For peace of mind when you need it most, count on Washington Energy Services, bringing good energy to your home.
Ryan Roland Smith here. For more than 35 years, the NBA Health Insurance Trust has been helping local builders, contractors, and their employees save money and gain peace of mind. They offer customized group health plans from the state's leading insurance providers. Small and mid-sized businesses deserve big healthcare access. The NBA Health Trust brings you the coverage you want at a price you can trust. Find out more at mbahealthtrust.com. That's mbahealthtrust.com.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends. And explore the lively nightlife scene. The dining district at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
See, that's not right. There's no reason to go there. that Mora can't pick her nose because of fear of poking her brain. That's not right. I don't know. See,
I saw that one.
that is not right, Mora. No one should write that about you. And I would like to step in and maybe even block that texter. That's just not right, 425. How dare you say those things about our friend Mora? I mean, that is clearly a bridge
Like you
too
guys
far.
didn't create this storm.
No, that is too far, 425. Kind of like how far the finger would go up the nose. Too far. Just too far. Please don't go there again. That is just not right. Daniel Jeremiah is going to join us. We think in a minute. He may still be in like a depressed state, Brock, after the end of the Padres season. I don't know whether we're going to get DJ today. What do you think?
I would think so. I know he tapes his podcast right after us with Bucky Brooks, so he's kind of in media mode usually. But maybe he heard your shot at him and the Padres.
It wasn't a shot. I was just wondering if they were still. Are they still in it?
Pretty much.
I know the Mariners are still in it. Are the Dodgers still in it? His favorite team?
Yeah, Dodgers
they're still in it. They're up 2-0. Okay, so and the Padres are what now? Where?
I think the Cubbies got him. Yeah, I think unfortunately they went to Chicago and the Cubbies.
There you go. I knew something happened. I just had to try to remind myself what was going on with the Padres, and it looks like they're not around anymore, unfortunately. So let me, as we wait for DJ, just give you guys the lineup one more time here for Game 3. If it's able to be played, the good news is I don't need to give you all of it. It's the standard lineup they've been rocking with Canzone DHing, Polanco at second base, and he's hitting cleanup today. Josh Naylor is indeed in the lineup. He made it back from whatever personal day he took yesterday. Sounds like there was a private jet involved that the Mariners got him in order to get him down to Arizona and then to Detroit. He's in the lineup, so hopefully that means he's already there. Maybe it means they're expecting him at a certain time in the next couple of hours. But regardless, really good news to see Josh in the game.
It is, because the alternative would have been more than likely with Flaherty being a righty. You were going to play Rayleigh at first, and Rayleigh, just timing-wise, unfortunately, that poor guy with some injuries this year has just not been able to get the bat going. So, yeah, you feel a whole lot better about someone with great playoff experience. Somebody didn't, have his best weekend and he wants to contribute and be a difference maker. And, again, when you talk about a confidence factor that Lyle has, I think a confidence factor that you have, a confidence factor that your lineup is better than their lineup, right?
Yeah.
Like
it's
the
not
last
even
thing.
just Brock, honestly, every part of their team is better than the Detroit team. I really mean it. They have a better closer. They got a better bullpen. They got a better, deeper starting rotation. They got a better lineup.
Yep.
They're just a better team.
Yep.
They're just a better team. That's why they have home field advantage in this series. They're a better team. Detroit is not a bad team. I don't mean to disparage them, but
and they're kind of in a funky place too. It's why I asked Shannon that question about Detroit, right? Because they had one of the most historic collapses in the history of baseball. I think the most historic, being up 15 and a half games, but yet, it's a whole new season, and it's everyone's at zero. And they win a series against Cleveland, and they take a game in Seattle, right?
But they struggled to get past Cleveland. They've already lost, and I don't know. We got a text earlier from somebody in Michigan who said that it is just not a big buzz right now in that city, that there is just not a tremendous amount. I think the Lions, I'm sure, are getting a lot of buzz right now, right? They look good for the second or third year in a row, and there's a lot of interest in that team succeeding really for the first time in forever since
college football area.
Right.
Ann Arbor is right next door, and Michigan is off to a good start.
Hockeytown USA and the NHL, first face-off tonight. So I don't know. I'm not saying that they're not interested. That would be too much.
But hard to imagine it's going to be as electric as it was in T-Mobile the last couple of days.
It is hard to imagine. Yeah, it is really.
And the rain probably doesn't help in some of that as well. So it's all there for you.
Yeah.
It's all there for you. Now, Shannon said they're going to do all they can to make sure they don't stop and start this game. Right? So now if that means kind of delaying it and all of a sudden they're like, okay, enough. So today is Tuesday. So that means they would play Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? So they'd have to, if this does get pushed back, they wouldn't play into the weekend, right? This got to be figured out by Friday.
I would assume, yeah. I mean, they're not going to play a doubleheader, but I think after today, there's no real problems in Detroit schedule. So you could, have the day off today, play tomorrow, play Thursday in Detroit, which is the scheduled off day, and then come back here if necessary for Game 5. Anybody worried that would mean – I saw someone say, well, could that be a problem because then you'd get Scooble another time? I don't let's think through that. It wouldn't. I mean, it's not like you could get him 3 times in the series. It's a matter of whether or not he would then pitch in Game 4 potentially instead of Game 5. Is that possible? So he pitched on Sunday.
Sunday.
1, 2,
Yes,
3,
he pitched Sunday.
4, 5. It'd be on short rest if he did it. His regular rest would be Friday.
Mm-hmm.
It would be short rest for him to pitch on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
They could do it.
Doable, sure.
But, I mean, it probably depends. I mean, if you're Detroit and you're down 2-1, maybe you feel like you got to pitch school. But on the other hand, maybe you feel like, hey, we got to win 2 games. So, even if you win, you're going to have to pitch him in one of the 2 games. Why not pitch him in the final game? And if they were ahead 2-1, I would think they would say at that point, like, well, we either win or we get Scooble in Game 5. So I would be surprised if that changes the way it works. But I guess we'll see. I mean, any of those things would be possible if the game were to get canceled or delayed or postponed, rather, today. I do agree with Shannon, though. They would be loath to start the game and then stop it again.
Yep.
And that, by the way, is the worst. Then you potentially burn a starter, and that just really messes with these teams. Does it kill them? I mean, that may be advantage Mariners, potentially.
If they were to stop and start?
Yeah, only because you've got a guy like Emerson Hancock that was in your rotation all year long. Maybe that's a help for you. I don't know. He hasn't pitched in the series. In theory, I guess you could also throw Bryce Miller in that. You've got a couple of ways you could make that work. I would be shocked, though, if that happens. I'm with Shannon. That would be really surprising if baseball let this game start only to then delay it and then come back to it. That would be, I don't know. Maybe it's happened, but I can't remember that occurring in a postseason game. That would be a huge mess. In the meantime, Brock, I just want to keep coming back to what has been, I think, my favorite story of this postseason for the Mariners, and that's Julio. Mm-hmm. You kind of asked Lyle earlier, hey, can you shout the excitement with the same ferocity and fervor that you get upset with some of the mistakes that you see? And it's a fair question. Because in sports, and especially in sports media, it's a lot easier to point at things that make you mad. Yep. I mean, heck, we live in a country where everybody's pointing at everything that makes them mad all the time. We read that whole thing. Did I send you that thing about how, that's what is it? Rage is the new sex, basically? They used to say sex sells, and now it's no, rage sells better. It's actually the best way to get people to view, to click, to stick with things is just to make them mad enough to keep looking at it. It's really remarkable what we've done. But I understand some of it, right? That is a little bit of human nature, and it's easy to get mad at the thing that's not going well or the thing you see that is, and that makes easy radio. Sometimes it makes really good radio, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. It is, I think, important when you see things that are going the other direction to point them out. And for all of the conversations we've had about Julio, which I think we're held with love, where does this guy, how can this guy just be the player we all know he can be? He's doing it right now. He's done it since the All-Star break, even more so over the last month or so. And what he's done so far in the playoffs has been the best player on the field.
Yeah, he's slowed down. He's comfortable. I think Passan said that, right? It's not too big for him. Shannon added to that. He likes hitting third, which I think is a little part of this as well. I didn't love him as a leadoff guy. He didn't strike me as a leadoff guy. Take in some information. Watch a couple of the at-bats ahead of you, right? Just slow the game down. His teammates have talked about that, right? Being at second base, just slow the game down.
Let me play. This is what Jeff said earlier.
Doesn't he look so comfortable? That to me has been the biggest takeaway. How at ease and at home he looks in these big moments. And that's what you want from your star, right?
By the way, it's exactly what we've said has been the biggest problem for him over the last couple of years. Is that in the biggest moments, he hasn't looked at ease. He has looked a little jumpy. He has looked like it's not that it's too big for him, but that he wants it so badly that he's chomping at the bit for it and can't help himself.
It's the opposite of what DJ talked about last week with Sam Darnold, just the calm.
Mm-hmm.
Just the calm in the fire, the calm in the moment, the calm in the pocket, the calm in the batter's box. Yeah, the last few months, have you seen him leaning over and falling into the left-handed batter's box once?
I can't remember it. Now, by the way, I've barely seen him swing and miss during that time, so I don't know how many opportunities he's had to fall over. He's just so locked in that every pitch he swings at, he seems to just, hit hard somewhere. But I do think it's been enormously, A, it's been awesome for the Mariners, and B, I think it just makes it more fun. Everybody likes a surprise hero, don't get me wrong. And if Dominic Canzone has 3 home runs today, that'll be such a cool story. If Victor Robles or J.P. Crawford has a 5-hit day, and that would be awesome. But there is something just even a little extra special when it's Julio, the guy who from the beginning said, all I want to do is win for this franchise. All I want to do is be a Mariner. When I was young in the Dominican, he said all this stuff about wanting to be a Mariner, loving the franchise, wanting to do it for the fans, his belief in this team that not everyone, including us, believed in before the season began. The Julio arc is fascinating just from a storytelling perspective. And then just the love affair he seems to have with the fans. He loves them. And they love him back. And when he does this, I don't know. I just think it just, not to take anything away from Cal and what he's done this year, it's been equally amazing or maybe even more so. But I really love the Julio story. It's been one of my favorites.
Agreed. And this is how you silence and change the conversation, is you are great when it matters the most. This is where legacies are built, right? This is playoff baseball. This is, you look at the curse that ended in your city that you grew up in, Salk, and, look at the reverence they have for Big Papi and all of those guys, right? Julio's loved, but you want to take it a step further and be in that kind of reverence? Get to a World Series and win one.
Unbelievable. All right, we do have Daniel Jeremiah. We had a little technical problem, I guess. I don't know what happened, but we've got DJ. Don't worry, DJ. We're just talking playoff baseball. It's probably not something you know anything about.
Well, I can't see you right now for some reason with this connection, and it's probably a good thing because it would just hurt my soul because I'm sure one of you's wearing like a Randy Johnson jersey. And
Brock's got his October baseball Seattle Mariner jersey on.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a big dumper jersey in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
Golly. Just needed one of them to hit. Manny or Tatis, like, goodness gracious. The Cubs, they stink.
Dodgers look pretty good, though. That's got to feel nice.
Yeah, we weren't beating them. I can be honest about that. So it was just delaying the inevitable, but it would have been nice just to string it along for another week.
All right, let's
DJ, on Sunday, we saw the greatest combined quarterback day in the history of the NFL. Do you realize that? And that's not hyperbole. Let me put my Ebenezer's on and read to you the tweet from Ari yesterday. The Bucs-Seahawks game on Sunday was the first NFL in history where both QBs threw for 325-plus yards and completed 80% or more of their passes. Baker, 29 of 33, 88% for 379. Sam, 28 of 34, 82% for 341, let alone the touchdowns as well. The best quarterback day in the history of the NFL. How?
Well, I would say that was accompanied by probably 2 of the most efficient receiver days.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Right on cue. Right on
I think we should just delay this till Thursday.
Yeah, let's hold off. We can get DJ another time later this week. Let's just keep talking baseball. And sorry, DJ, it just obviously something going on. So we'll see if we can get that fixed. We'll work on it, and we'll see if we can have him later on in the week. All right, let's just forget that, Brock, and just go right back to baseball. And I'll remind everybody that you have an opportunity to go to the watch party today and tomorrow if you're going to watch Josh Naylor, who's back in the lineup today, which is great. I shouldn't even say back in the lineup. Never left. Josh Naylor is in the lineup today. And I do think, look, we talk about the importance of community in sports and how big a deal it is. Watching the game at home is one thing. Watching the game at a bar can be great. But going to the ballpark and watching with everybody there, that's pretty cool. I remember doing it for the Blue Jays game a few years ago, and they did a great job with it. It was super fun, and then when they won, it just made it all that much better to be down there later. So if you got the opportunity either today or tomorrow, go to the ballpark watch party. I think it's at mariners.com/watch party for tickets. They're like $15. Another 10. I think it's only 10 for season ticket holders. So pretty easy to do. Cool. And go experience it that way. If you're at work, you know what you can do? Listen to it right here on Seattle Sports or the Seattle Sports app. Great ways to connect with the game and listen to it tomorrow and today and tomorrow. Excuse me. All right, we talked about Julio. You've talked quite a bit about Logan Gilbert today, Brock, for good reason. I mean, he's now the guy in the microscope. This season has been so odd for Logan, right? I mean, you're talking about a guy who came into this year with the highest of expectations. If I said to you before the year, all right, one Mariner's going to win a Cy Young, who's it going to be? I think every one of us in this room and almost everybody out there would have said in unison, Logan Gilbert. He felt like the ascending player that was ready to reach the absolute top of the mountain. And unfortunately, injuries early and some I wouldn't say ineffectiveness, but just some ups and downs over the course of the year, I think has unfortunately made that not occur. And yet here we are in a 1-1 series on the road, and guess who the Mariners get to start? Logan Gilbert, Walter himself. Do you think we see that level of dominance that we saw at times last year? We haven't seen it much this season, certainly since after the injury. Do you think that it's in there?
I think it is in there. I'm just looking at the game log of the entire season. First outing of the year. Remember that beauty? Gets the opening day,
yes.
Ball in his hand. Yep. He goes 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 run versus those A's. Absolutely shoves. After that outing, how many other outings did he throw 7 innings this year?
None.
How many did he throw 6 2/3 this year?
Maybe 1.
None.
Yeah.
He had 2 outings.
He did it none.
6 1/3.
Yeah.
He had 2 outings of 6 1/3 after that opening day.
Yeah. So again, what does that tell you? I mean, I don't mean to keep coming back to this, but it's just such a key to the postseason. Logan right now, unfortunately, is not in the category of pitcher who gets to go 7 innings in the postseason. Right? I mean, can we just agree on that? And maybe, look, again, I know
5 innings, 6 innings, 5 2/3, 4 2/3, 6. Those are the month of September. The whole month of September. So it's probably very unrealistic for yours truly and his wide-set eyes to say, I'd like Logan to take that trident that he held in such fervor when he was injured, right? And I'd love to just have him put a stake in the ground and say, today is the day. Today is the difference. Today I go 7. Today I shove. Like I think the stuff is capable of doing. Probably unrealistic for me, quite honestly.
Well, it doesn't mean you can't do it for 4 2/3 or whatever that number is, maybe 5, and then turn it over to the bullpen. I mean, that is a perfectly legitimate outcome for a good pitcher, which is what Logan has been this year, but not quite in the elite category this season.
Set the table for the 4 remaining innings, the last 12 outs. You work backwards, obviously.
Let me just first give you Logan's numbers this year, times facing opponent during the game this season. I'll just do it by OPS. 557 first time through, 664 the second time through, third time through, 802. Better than Kirby, by the way, by 128 points. But still, that is a giant jump for Logan the third time through the order. And then you get into the Kerry Carpenter thing, and it to me stands out. Now, look, the way baseball works, Logan could go to that and absolutely mow through those guys in the 5th inning for the 3rd time because you're talking about percentages. You're not talking about results. And if that works, great. Don't call me and tell me I'm an idiot because it went and worked. Hey, it works sometimes when you stand on 16 and the dealer busts. Things happen. But ultimately, the percentages would say Logan is in the category of pitcher right now around the league, and this probably is 2/3 of the pitchers in the postseason, maybe more, who are great through the first 2 times through the lineup, and then you probably want to turn it over to somebody else. Who, Brock? Depends on where you're at. I would think that Caleb Ferguson plays a role today with the lefties. I would think that they are going to continue to rely on Gabe Spire. Everyone had a day off yesterday. It would be helpful to the Mariner bullpen if they got another day off today. We'll see. But I would think everyone's available. If I could stay away from one person today, it would be Munoz. If you could get up by enough, the guy's pitched, 3 innings in the first 2 games. If that was a possibility, I'd love to. But I'll tell you what, he's looked as good as I can ever remember him looking. So if you got an opportunity to give him the ball, what are you going to say, no?
I'd like to stay away from Vargas. I just want to put that on the record again today.
That's a different issue. That's different. Please. That's staying away for a different reason.
All right.
But at this point in the postseason, don't you trust Spire? Do you not trust Brash because he gave up a couple of runs, which maybe don't happen if there's not an error? I don't know. I still trust Matt Brash any given moment. Ferguson has pitched well in the postseason, and you're going to need him in the right spot against lefties.
Yep.
So, and then you got Munoz, and I do trust all that 4. Don't you? And Bizzardo as well. So if you got 4 or 5 guys that you have an opportunity to go through, if that has to start in the 5th inning, that's what's got to start.
Or maybe you just mash. Maybe you just hit
Well, there's that too.
And you put it in the gap and you put a 5 spot on there and you let Logan really throw strikes. And that's the beauty of this team. They can win in a variety. We have said this, and it's probably, once again, why the confidence factor. It's never an all-time high in playoff baseball. It's always gut-wrenching. It's always that fine, beautiful little teeter-totter of anxiety and exhilaration that this team can win in a bunch of different ways. And felt that way, and we said it. Maybe there was some recency bias because you're right. The 22 team had a lot of different components too, but it wasn't this good. It wasn't this deep. It didn't stretch 9 guys deep in the lineup, nor 5 guys deep in the bullpen. And with Wu down, still 4 starters that you feel pretty darn good about. And I think they're a pretty confident crew. You hear that from Shannon. You hear that from people that have been around that pretty confident crew.
They should be, and they should be brimming with confidence after what happened on Sunday night. Last thing, and then we'll turn it over here to Bump and Stacy in just a couple of minutes, and we'll be back tomorrow, and Joel Klatt, and we may have a couple other baseball guests that we're working through for tomorrow as well. But I guess I'll just say this. There has been a lot of debate about some of the in-game decisions that have been made, and I think it's all fair debate. That's part of the fun of baseball. It's why I love the sport, is getting to debate those moments. There can be no debate about how resilient this team has been this year and how much of that credit needs to go to its skipper, Dan Wilson. Now, that's been true of them not just this year. I mean, Scott had some years where we said much of the same thing. But Dan has done a heck of a job of making this team very resilient this year. They have dealt with injuries. They have dealt with all kinds of ups and downs. There have been a couple of times in the season where I think we've all said, oh my God, this thing might be toast. And they have brought it right back from the brink, like in a bad movie where the bus is teetering on the bridge and everybody runs to one side. And Dan has been the guy who's helped them kind of work their way through that, get off that bus and get to safety, and then go chase down the bad guy. So huge credit to him for that. There was definitely some adversity after game 1 of this series. You had lost game 1 in agonizing fashion and were facing Tarek Skubal in game 2. He kept them calm. The team had absolutely the right attitude. They had absolutely the right game plan. They had absolutely the right everything heading into game 2. They win it. I was not surprised at that because they've had a lot of success in those moments this year. And now, if they don't have enough confidence, I would be shocked. This should be like the team that's ready to roll now.
Well, I think the most beautiful thing, and again, I'll quote my head coach here, and you've used it yourself, Salk. The best teams are the ones that are led by the voices of their players in their dugout. Not the skipper's voice, not no voice. We've seen some of those teams through the years that have no voice. We've seen some coaches and teams that maybe have been the bigger voice. This is a team that is driven by their players, by their players' passion, by their zeal, by their voice, and hopefully today by their bat and their arms.
Are we going to run? Enjoy the game today. Josh Naylor's in the lineup. The Mariners are hopefully going to play just after 1 o'clock, and we'll keep our eye on the weather in Detroit as well. Either way, we'll be with you at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Until then, Brock, the hay bar. It's in the bar. See everybody.
Get to the chopper!
MLB Network insider John Morosi every week with Wyman and Bob.
Well, I had the pleasure of hanging out with Dave. Got a chance to do a couple shows with him.
Oh, that was quite a weekend, my friend. And Dave, I got to tell you, Bob is all heart, man. He is all invested in these games. I'm so programmed to try to watch these tense games with an air of equanimity. But, man, I love how Bob brings the emotional investment to this. It is a great way to experience sports.
See the full conversation on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
In today's competitive world, standing out isn't optional anymore. I'm Rusty George. My agency builds websites and marketing strategies to help builders, manufacturers, and material suppliers get louder, get noticed, and bring in new customers. Visit us today at rustygeorge.com.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167, some things are about to change, and some things aren't. If you ride without a Good-to-Go account, you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. Having Good-to-Go means it'll cost less than pay by mail. Not a change. Carpoolers will need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. A Good-to-Go pass saves you $2 on every toll. No change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com. Free Flex Passes while supplies last.
When the heat's in 11,
cool AC would be heaven.
dayandnight.net. It's the final month to save 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump while supplies last at Day and Night.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Save 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump, plus no payments or interest for a year OAC. Call for details. dayandnight.net.
Hear that? Sounds like simple. Valvoline Instant Oil Change simple. No appointments. About 15 minutes to change your oil. Then out the door and back to life.
Yeah, honey, on my way.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Expert service doesn't need to be overcomplicated.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through October 19th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Gene Schwartz for Techline Roofing. Fall weather is right around the corner. Get your roof ready with Techline. Whether it's a replacement, repair, or even just a cleaning, Techline's workmanship is backed by the strongest warranty in the business. Trust Techline.
Lowe's knows pros want more. Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free to get $20 off your first qualifying purchase of $100 or more just for signing up. Plus, enjoy free standard shipping and more ways to save on your next job. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid for new members only. Not valid with any other discount. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowes.com/pro-loyalty for details. Subject to change.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
May I help you? I just wanted to request a late checkout, please.
Of course. That's $30 per hour for up to 4 hours.
Huh. Okay, but if you can offer a late checkout, then that probably means no one is staying in that room. So if it's empty, maybe I can just stay a few extra hours.
Oh, aren't you adorable?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states. Progressive has great customer service, and it's easy to reach us because great and easy is the way to be. Like salads. Great for you, and so easy you can put any group of veggies in a bowl, and it's a salad. A full carrot with a head of cabbage? Weird, but still a salad. 1 radish and a couple of green beans? Also a salad. 14 blueberries, half an onion, and a sunchoke? Odd, yes, but an odd salad. So contact Progressive's customer service by phone, app, or online. It's great and easy, just like salad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Baseball's postseason is here.
And so does everyone in this building.
Seattle sports playoff coverage is presented by Honey Bucket, 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners are taking on the Tigers